What is good, citizens of Twitch? Can't visit casinos on lockdown, but we're still playing blackjack because this is the 21st edition of Swimmer Sync here at IPL. You already know who it is, and if you don't, it's your boy Bash. This time I'm here with Band Kid. And Band Kid, why don't you tell us who's playing up first?
All right, hey everyone. Again, like Bash said, welcome to Swimmer Sync 21. First up on our first round one in round robin, we will be seeing Cataclysm versus Crustacean, I believe, Crusaders.
Yep. We're just waiting for them to get in. But while we do, thought I'd ask, do you know either of these teams?
Both teams sound very familiar. I don't, off the top of my head right now, I can't really think of anything that's like, okay, oh yeah, this person's on there, this person's on there. Like, those teams sound really familiar to me, but like, I can't really, just think off the top of my head, okay, yeah, that person's on that team, that person's on that team,
Well, either way, I'm very interested, very excited to be watching them play. Looks like Crustacean Crusaders has a couple players that they might rotate throughout the tournament. We'll just have to wait and see. Either way, first round is going to be out of a 3-map rotation, which I believe is still play all 3. First map is going to be Splat Zones on the Reef. Pretty good neutral start, I'd say. What are you looking forward to seeing with this match? Anyways, we've gotten started. We've got a pretty balanced loadout from both sides. It looks like Crustacean Crusaders, if the colors serve correctly, are going with a more close range, in-your-face type loadout with 2 shooters, a dualies, and a Hydra Splatling, I believe that is. And then Cataclysm's got the Nautilus and a Blaster out, I believe. So far, Cataclysm's strategy has worked a little bit better as they've gained the opening push, but as Crustacean Crusaders get their specials out, they've managed to get some points right away, but Cataclysm's just bounced back.
Yeah, right now they were able to, get that counter push in on the, I believe Cataclysm was able to come back in, so that, that was a really well done. I mean, first Splatoon, one of the biggest factors is to get your specials, get your, and, pair everything up to try and get back in. If you can't really do that, that's going to be really hard for you to get in just by going in, by hand. But, yeah, right now we do see 1 down on the side of Cataclysm. They do have their armor popped. Right now there is 2 down on the side of Crustacean, actually, which means Cataclysm right now is looking pretty good right now. They have map control as we're approaching about 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, we tried to see Crustacean Crusaders try to charge up their specials and coordinate, and they activated the missiles, the Inkstorm, and the armor all at once, but I don't know, maybe they were disorganized or they hesitated a little bit and they weren't quite able to take advantage of that push with the specials, and that just allowed Cataclysm to take everything back and drive it all the way to knockout, easily taking map 1, putting a crack in the shells of these crustaceans. I don't know, we'll see if they can bounce back, but yeah, it looks like Cataclysm's just not slowing down. And Crustacean Crusaders needs to do just a little bit of a better job at stealing themselves, organizing a strategy, and just following through.
Yeah, Cataclysm was really well done. It did really well in that game whenever they were pushing up. I mean, yes, of course, Crustacean Crusaders were able to push in and get that and get some progress on their counter, but that did not stop Cataclysm from getting in there and trying to push back up into mid and trying to taking back that mid in getting the zones and stuff, which eventually led them to the knockout, which really helped them out in the end, because that really just puts them 1 game up on this switch. Even if Crustacean Crusaders may possibly take the set, or whoever knows, it'll help them on later on because this is Playoff 3, and Playoff 3 helps you. In Playoff 3, every game matters.
Certainly. Well, for Crustacean Crusaders, Rainmaker on Mana Maria is going to be a great opportunity to maybe show some things off. The aggro plan that they had originally will definitely work out more here. There's a lot more choke points. Rainmaker is an inherently aggressive mode. If they can get more organized, plan some things out, maybe breathe a little bit more, I could see them making a comeback, but it's really just up to them. Well, let's see what loadouts they come out with.
Yes,
We
in fact,
see Tetras on the side of Crustacean Crusaders this time around, going for more rolls. I like that.
Yeah, but like I mean, Tetris is just gonna help them, help them get back in and being able to push up and hopefully send more of a chance. Because with Rainmaker, you never know. Like we could have a pizza time game where you get the knockout in under 30 seconds, or can even go into overtime. Because and also not to mention it's on Monta. Like Monta in Rainmaker is something where okay, you think you have the lead and you think you're fine because 10 seconds left, then all of a sudden they knock it out in overtime. So it's just really just everywhere, especially on the Monster Rainmaker. But right now we are going to be seeing Cataclysm being able to cancel Crusaders push. And right now, they pop their jet, meaning that right now they have a good opportunity to push. But sadly, they only have 3 down, with the junior only being the only one alive, meaning that would be the end of the push, which means that Cataclysm does have the lead right now, but that's not a very safe lead, especially in Rainmaker.
Yeah, Crustacean Crusaders has been doing a much better job at getting their picks, but maybe this will be the difference, but they've sort of been hesitating with regards to making pushes. Maybe they want to play it safe, because like you said, Rainmaker can either be the shortest or the longest match ever. Every time, it really depends on just the dynamic between the two teams. If you can just absolutely overpower the other team, or if you catch them sleeping, then that's that. Right now, Crustacean Crusaders has put a lot of points on the board, and Cataclysm has decided to let the Rainmaker reset. One of the players, the Nautilus players, decided to pop an Inkjet momentarily, maybe to try to gain some momentum, and it looks like that has happened with the spacing between all of the players, but it's still up to them to make that push and gain the lead against the defense that Crustacean Crusaders will mount. And it looks like they have taken the lead very slightly, but with the Rainmaker's position, it is still on Crustacean to try to put something back.
Yeah, so right now we are seeing equal people on the team right now. Now it's kind of invalid, but just then we were able to see Cataclysm being their push getting canceled by Crustacean Crusaders, which just really shows that right now Crustacean Crusaders, they know that this game could potentially be the game that chooses the set, which given it is playoff 3, but a set win is definitely still important. But yeah, right now we are seeing 2 down on the side of Cataclysm, meaning that Crustacean Crusaders are gonna have to try and really take whatever they can right now for a push, because eventually that timer will go down to about a minute left, and they may not even have an opportunity to push, which means that they need to take any opportunity they can.
Yeah, I liked that splashdown to sort of clear the center and get a pick, and then the Splatling has just been steadily pushing back Cataclysm, but it really is just up to them to pick up the Rainmaker. They're taking their time, as they should, but of course not too much time, because there's only 1 minute and 35, or actually less than that, on the clock. Ali is going to try to sneak by, put those Tetras to work, but the players on Cataclysm are armored, so yeah, he's going to jump back. They really can't take that risk. 1 minute and 15 seconds left. They got to pick up that Rainmaker eventually.
Yes, right now we are about under 90 seconds into the match. Actually, we're approaching a minute left into the match, which means that right now it just lowers the amount of opportunities that Crustacean Crusaders has to push up. Because right now, it's a really important game. Game 2 is really important in all sets. And it's just right now, Crustacean Crusaders, they gotta really gotta get picked and push up, because if they don't and they try waiting a bit longer, that may be the thing that loses the game.
Yeah, that inkjet just allowed them to push it a little bit further. Oh, and they're pushing it again. Yeah, no, they're just. I'm not. I mean, I would say salt in the wound, but it's like you really can't know what happens until it's over on Rainmaker. But Cataclysm is just putting so much pressure, cracking the shell even further. And yeah, no, they're just trying to hold on to it, but they keep dropping it like hot potato. That inkjet is just gonna be them saying GG's, just clearing the way. And yeah, no, I mean they had some good exchanges at the start, Cataclysm and Crustacean Crusaders, but it really came down to who was able to play the long game, and Cataclysm just didn't falter. Of course, we still have one more. Oh my goodness. 20, 13, and 12 kills on the side of Cataclysm. They were productive. So it wasn't just the longevity, it wasn't just the endurance, but the production as well that put them forward. Of course, we have one more map to play. It could be Crustacean Crusaders' way to redeem themselves, Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit, but they've got to learn some lessons either way after this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a game 3, which, as I was saying before, is playoff 3, which means that even though they lost the first 2 games, this game is still important because it depends on what bracket you're going to get, and the better the bracket, the better, right? I mean, even if it's going to be quote unquote platinum bracket or I think it's Great White, then like even then, like you still get like more experience and stuff. Which like this game 3 is overall like the most important game in a playoff 3 set, because it's most important to both teams if they haven't gone 1-1 yet. Even if it is an 0-2 or 2-0, yeah, it doesn't matter in a playoff 3.
Yeah, every opportunity to learn you should take. Crusaders certainly getting an education this set, and it's not going to end. Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit is one of my favorite map mode combos. It's just so chaotic every time. Just the chaotic design of Piranha Pit combined with the chaotic nature of Clam Blitz. It'll be interesting seeing what each squad decides to pull out for this mode. We're about to see now. Okay, about the same philosophy for each. We've got the junior out on the side of Cataclysm. So we got some armor in the game. That's going to be very helpful for making pushes in Clam Blitz, just trying to make a long drive. But right now, we're just gathering clams. Crustacean Crusaders has been gathering them pretty well, but Cataclysm has enough to get a power clam in play, just as long as they're able to pass. And they are letting those specials rain. Missiles followed by Stingray. Way to put the pressure on right away. My goodness.
Yes, and I would like to touch on the fact that they are actually pulling out a siege jet on Clements of all things, which I love to see that there's a ray being pulled out on this map, because even though like for most Clamlet stages anyways, the ray isn't really that best of a choice, like say for the scopes, right? You would rather have like a fire fin. You can like throw them all down, yeah. But like with the ray on the Piranha, you can just like you go to your goal and you have the whole map to your advantage just right there, and it's more easier than what would be on the in the other map, which really puts if there's not a Stingray on another team, that really puts you at a big advantage comp wise.
Yep. Right now, we've seen Cataclysm has scored once. They already have another power clam on deck, and they're letting the specials rain. They've just been steadily pushing to make another scoring play, and they have, once again, only 10 for penalties, so they have added more points to the board. And another power clam has just been thrown out there. Of course, Crustacean Crusaders pushing them back with a Booyah Bomb, and they've got a power clam of their own, and they'll be getting a pity clam as well. Cataclysm has 20 penalty points now, so they would need another power clam and then some to put more points on the board. But right now, they've just got to focus on shutting down the offense of Crustacean Crusaders because they are getting pretty close.
Yeah, but I will
There
like
it
to say right now
is.
they are able to get in a push with 2 down on the side of Cactus, meaning that right now they are actually able to take the lead with a super clam in the
Oh,
basket, taking them down 20 counters, which means that hopefully they may be able to get more in. You know, like the more progress we have, the better. But sadly, they will not be able to get more in. But I mean, getting 20 down, that isn't that bad of progress. But that does mean that it is a little easy to get the um to get lead back, but at the same time, you know, Crusaders, they could easily defend this one with, but right now they do have 2 down, 2 downs out of Cataclysm too, also meaning that they're gonna have to push up a little, or sorry, back up a little, but yeah.
that was actually a beautiful play. Like, Crustacean Crusaders saw the specials coordination and the push that Cataclysm did those first 2 times, and they were like, yeah, we can do it too. And they just kept throwing clams in there. And then one of the players just did a squid jump and just Hail Married themselves and just jammed that last power clam in there. Almost made me want to shout boom shakalaka. But right now, Cataclysm has a power clam right now. They tried to make a push with some specials. They're slowly inching forward once again. They're, of course, going to try to engage the players on the side of Crustacean Crusaders, as well as Paint, in order to charge those specials, getting the Stingray, the missiles, and an Inkjet as well. But they haven't really been able to push. But we see a lot more of that neon green, and they get another thing in there, and they take the lead. All of these clams, we are at a seafood buffet right now. Cataclysm is just feeding us so much. We try to get another power clam in there, try to do a Hail Mary, kind of like Crustacean Crusaders did, but they couldn't quite do it. But what a push indeed. And with 1 minute left, Crustacean Crusaders is going to have to scramble to take the lead again.
Yeah, but Crustacean Crusaders, it's definitely not out of their power. We've seen them done it before. They just got to get in a really well coordinated push, get the picks that they need, and they can easily, you know, just get as many clams as they need to get a push going and possibly take the lead. But yeah, right now, Cataclysm will be trying to get in another clam to try and make sure that they to you know, secure that win even further.
My goodness. Right now, Cataclysm is just waiting for the right moment to push again. They're not done with Crustacean Crusaders quite yet. They're charging, trying to get that missiles out. Gonna try to make it look as one-sided as the last Super Bowl, even though it was a lot more close during the start of the match. Just shutting down that last power clam, driving their power clam in, and ending it there. Well done to Cataclysm. Whew. Yeah, that was just... Yeah, no. I mean, I liked that one push that Crustacean Crusaders did, but as soon as Cataclysm got their feet back on the ground, look at all of the picks they got once again. They were just... You just couldn't stop them.
I mean, yeah, like Crusaders and Crusaders, they were really they got that really well done push whenever they got that lead, which, you know, like, it was honestly kind of surprising. Like, they were able to get some clams in, and then all of a sudden, you know, they take a super clam and they throw it in there, which was which really helped them out in the end. But sadly, Cataclysm was able to come back to, like, no, I'm gonna take this back, and they do take back the lead. But yeah, that was still a really tenseful game, even up at the end.
Indeed. And yeah, well done to Crustacean Crusaders. They put up a really good fight. They showed some moments of brilliance. They just have to work on their longevity and just get better at persevering through a whole set. If they can maintain just like a great standard of play for longer, or just even a good standard of play throughout the whole set, it'll work dividends. Anyways, round 2 is coming up. We're still trying to figure out who it is, but until then, we are going to take a brief break, as it says on the screen. Keep it here, though. We got more action coming up. We are back, and we'll start round 2 momentarily, but first, a word from our sponsors. Aquatic Cup is returning on March 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. for everyone in my area, with 2 big changes. As always, the format is double elimination. However, there is no longer a skill cap, and a counterpick system is being introduced. And in fact, it's counterpick only this time around. Since this is a test run, there will most likely be changes before the next Aquatic Cup, and feedback is much appreciated. Please join the Discord for more information. It is discord.io/Aquatic Cup, and someone other than me will hopefully post the link in the chat. Anyways, round 2, we've got a Revenant versus Universal. Do you know anything about these teams?
I currently do not. Both of those teams sound really. I mean, I don't really know any of those teams personally. Like, they both sound. They both have really strong people on their roster for sure, though. So I mean, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good match we're going to see very soon. But to start off our set, we will be going on to Tower Control, Anchovy, and this game 1 to play all 3.
We're about to test these teams' ability to strategize and ability to play at range. Towers on Anchovy has a lot of interesting flanking routes, but of course that wide open space is dangerous. So if there's some good backline players on these squads, we'll be seeing them. We have 1 charger on one of the squads. Of course, we've got 1 team that's mostly close range. We've got the Hero Dually Replicas player, Carnage, who I'm familiar with. Pretty decent player. Looking forward to seeing how he and his squad do during this tournament. Right now, we've got the Inkjet coming out on the side of a Revenant. And a Booyah Bomb as well. They've put 1 point on the board so far to take the tower. They're just going to wait until they can push even further before they hop back on. Oh, but Universal has been painting as well, and they've got the Stingray out. They're doing the offensive Stingray. Interesting. And Archer is just pushing forward. We really thought Revenant had something going there, but no, Universal's biting back.
Yeah, Universal right now is really just pushing and trying to really be like, no, we're gonna. I don't think you're gonna get any. I mean, right now we see Revenant getting it down to only 99, and then we see Universal coming back and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get 56." But right now, that looks like they will be the end of the push because everyone now has either jumped back or they are respawning, which means this is giving room for Revenant to be like, "Okay, get some breathing room," and then able to push up.
Yeah, now Revenant's been doing a lot of painting, and now they're going to try to push forward. It's a back-and-forth conversation. You see the specials coming out, the armor, the ink missiles on the part of Carnage, and then a Stingray as a cherry on top of this specials Sunday. Lots of sugar coming around, and we got some burst bombs as well, just topping it off. Spreading that paint like syrup. And Revenant's still pushing. Bishop trying to blast past, but the missiles and the bombs are just keeping him back. The baller might do something, but oh my goodness, the Stingray. The Stingray. It looks like Revenant's lost the tower just briefly, but they've gotten it back. I don't know where these specials are coming from. Revenant is just a painting machine right now, and they've been doing pretty good on their engagement too.
Yeah, they were. Revenant was like, okay, yeah, let's get our breathing room, but like, let's also like get it down to 24, almost down to knockout space. Like, I mean, at this point, it's gonna be really tough for Universal to try and push in, like, because like for most tower control maps, anyways, like, I mean, it's impossible. But, like, you get to a certain point, that's really hard to push back in. But I mean, right now we do see one downside of Revenant, meaning that right now they just gotta Universal needs to get some paint on the ground, get some breathing room, and then from there they can hopefully try and push up.
Yeah, Universal's going to need to make an even bigger statement. They clapped back at Revenant. Revenant clapped back the clapback. Can Universal add on to the chain? it looks like they're having a bit of trouble with their engagements. Revenant has been getting their shots off on target. They've been peppering with specials, and it looks like Universal's lost the tower. Right now, they're just going to paint mid, trying to clean up any of the mess Universal has made. But, ooh, we see a Stingray. Universal isn't quite out of it yet, but Revenant players are doing a pretty good job at dodging it. They're not going to sting us like we stung you. But, yeah, no, they're just keeping it steady. Universal is creeping towards checkpoint 2. But Revenant doesn't want to do anything drastic that could potentially cause a wipe.
Yeah, actually, right now we are seeing one down from the side of Universal, which means that this is like one pick at a time. They're going to be able to push up, but as I'm saying that, Commentators first. It looks like they will. The junior will be the only one that will be up on the side of Revenant, meaning that that's going to just be harder for them, and not really get them the breathing room they need. And right now, Universal is coming back with that push. 40 seconds left on the clock. It's just getting. This is like the last really chance they have at pushing up.
Yeah, only 32 seconds left. Universal has gone past the second checkpoint. Very close to taking the lead. As a matter of fact, they have taken the lead. And now Revenant is going to have to come back from the dead, as their name suggests, once again. But there's 15 seconds left. Can they mount a push?
Yes, right now we will be seeing the Charger from the side of Universal, which is a really good idea. I mean, right now the Revenant right now is just going to have to push up and try and get in, and trying to take back what was their lead. But, the Charger was like, they got to jump back to try and get position ready before the time whenever they come back. They can try and get the progress that they need. But right now we will be seeing armor being popped out from the side of Universal. We see that GG Ray coming out, but then we see a counter Ray coming out, trying to take out that Ray too. 2 down on the side of Universal. Actually it's a equal 2v2 right now, which it just makes it this overtime even more stressful.
Yeah, but Revenant's still hanging on, but Universal just hopped on and shut it down. Yeah, nah. That was a crazy match. They were going back and forth. I really don't know what I could say about either team's strategies towards the other, rather than, I don't know, I guess it just depends on the engagements. They've been pretty even, but it looks like Universal was able to just keep the momentum going when it counted, and that's what allowed them to get the edge. But it really could have gone either way. The offense and defense of both teams was just going back and forth, just around the world. Shout outs to Daft Punk, what a career. Anyways, map 2 is going to be zones on Humpback Pump Track. What do you think we're going to see on that?
I mean, it's Humpback. I would love to see some BO bombs, see some sloshers, see some things that dominate Humpback. Like on Humpback, there's so many positions for sloshers, for example, that you can really just take so many people out and then with bomb, it's the same thing. It's got so many bumps and stuff. It's a overall a good map, and I would love to see that being pulled out here.
Yeah, Humpback Pump Track is a true King of the Hill type map. So whichever team can keep the fire flying for the longest will definitely have the advantage. Sloshers would be cool. If we're going to see any backline action, I'd personally use a Splatling, but I mean, the Charger was doing pretty good on the side of Universal, so you never know. They might stick to what's best. But either way, we are just waiting for the match to start. I'm hoping it's another close one.
I mean, I would love to see another close one. I mean, hopefully we could possibly even see. I think it's a Revenant right now. Comeback, I believe. I believe they lost the last game, which means that it'll just make for a more suspenseful game 3. Because even if it is playoff 3, as I said before,
is that an E-leader?
It's going to be 1-1 currently. So.
Is that an E-leader from Kilo on the side of Universal on Humpback Pump Track? Okay. I mean, I trust you. You know what you're doing, but kind of unconventional. But Universal is or rather Revenant is doing what we predicted. We've got a slosher, a sloshing machine to be more specific, and a Nautilus Splatling, if the screen is serving me right. Right now, Universal has been getting most of the points, so evidently they do know what they're doing. And we've got the Inkstorm. Oh, no, not yet. But the Inkstorm is ready for whenever Kilo wants to pop it.
Yes, I'm really trusting Keely right now. I mean, like, if it's the same person, I believe they were going to scope last game, which I mean that scope was really well done. Just Charger last game was really well done. Which I mean, if I'm being honest, if you go 4K on really any map, I have mad respect for you. So I mean, I trust them. But right now will be seeing a Revenant being able to push up with 2 down inside of Universal a few moments ago. Make that one down. In fact, they are counting down their counter, meaning that right now it's looking really well for them to try and take the lead. 2 down the side of Universal, things are looking up for Revenant right now.
Yep, this time it's Revenant making the clapback as they've just taken the lead, and Universal has a whopping 40 penalty points slapped right onto them. Of course, Revenant will have more penalty points should Universal retake the zone, as they're attempting to do with that Inkstorm. But the bubbles, oh no, the bubbles couldn't stop them. But now, yeah, Revenant's got 56 penalty points, but they're down to 26 points needed. Can they lob more slosher fire? Can they keep the pressure on Universal? It looks like Universal is doing a better job at spreading out and trying to engage from all sides, maybe hit the flank, maybe catch him by surprise. That blaster on the side of Bishop trying to put in all sorts of work. At the very least, they're pushing him back, putting him under pressure like Freddie Mercury. But, yeah, nah, Revenant just can't get the zone repainted. And
Revenant. Yeah, Commentators first, but yeah, I do see a 2 down the side of Revenant, in fact. But yeah, we get one will actually be jumping out, which means right now Universal is getting is currently taking back the zone right now, which means that they're able to stay back. And if I were them right now, I'd be kind of passive, just like watching all the flanks, watching all the codes, just to be safe, like to make sure everything's fine, no one's gonna be flanking, because a surprise flank may decide the game later on. We do see a few counters left on the counter. In fact, it's about one counter now. They do take the lead, and right now they're gonna be pushing up to try and help further that lead anymore, and even possibly knock it out.
Looks like Revenant is pushing forward, and look, maybe they've got their specials. Oh, but the inkjet was shut down before it could even be popped. We're gonna get some bubbles in soon, and yeah, Revenant's got a lot of penalty points to make up. Universal's only got 6 left to go, but they've had some penalty points on them as well. If Revenant can do what Universal just did and clap back once again, they could still get on it. But Universal, of course, is not going to make it easy, as they've just recaptured the zone only briefly before the Booyah Bomb shut it down and allowed the recapture on the side of Revenant. They've just got to repaint the zone and make sure Universal can't sneak up on them again. They're whittling down their penalty points, but they have to keep it going for a long time. And Universal slaps even more penalty points onto them as they try to increase their lead. Wow, this is suspenseful. And there's only a minute left. A minute's plenty of time, of course, if you're a decent team, but oh goodness, the pressure's got to be on Revenant right now.
I mean, right now, tensions are high right now for Revenant. I mean, there is only a few counters left. They are going to have to try and push up. I mean, there is a few counters left, 3-2-1, and in fact,
that's the knockout.
Universal will be able to knock that out, meaning that Universal is currently 2-0. But again, remember, it is playoff 3. Revenant can come back in game 1, which can really help them out later on in the tournament in their round 3.
Yep, Revenant is definitely going to want to see something. Kilo made the E-leader work. Bishop has been working wonders with that blaster, though. Shoutouts to Bishop. But, yeah, no. That time it was more like it was still back and forth, but once again, when Universal was the one with the momentum, they were able to hang on to it for just that little bit longer. And of course, there were just like little small differences in the way they engaged, as well as their weapon compositions that could have affected the results as well. Universal was slightly more consistent, but this was still a closely contested map. Rainmaker on Black Belly Skate Park is going to be crazy between these two squads. I'm expecting a full-on grind. Like, I'm expecting like 5 minutes of overtime. What about you? Hello? All right, yeah. Yeah, Rainmaker is one of those modes where it's like it's either over in a flash or it's just an entire grind. And I don't see either Universal or Revenant sneaking up on the other because they've just been doing a really good job at clapping back. Of course, I could be surprised. I could be surprised. One of the teams might be able to just sneak up and dominate, but that's yet to be seen. Revenant might do a little bit better with their more aggro-oriented lineup on this map and mode, but as we just saw last map, Universal is able to make their weapons work in a variety of situations, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, Rainmaker is really like that aggressive mode. It's gonna be it's gonna be a pretty tenseful game. Right now Revenant they gotta get that game in to try and help them later on. Because again, it can really help them on with seeding in what bracket they will be seated in. But yeah, right now, in fact, Revenant is actually going for kind of low range, but not too aggressive, in my opinion. And then we got Universal that is also not really that aggressive. So right now, it's really just more paint oriented, especially on Revenant.
I like seeing the paint spread on the side of Revenant. Universal is painting more though. Woomph was trying to cover one option for the left flank, but yeah, no. As you can see, there's a stark difference as to how these teams have approached them. Revenant is covering all of their bases defensively. Very good pick on those dualies, but eventually they're going to have to start pushing forward. Universal has decided to pick up the Rainmaker and run with it, but we just need to see how far they can run with it. They've gone up to 44 points left, which is pretty impressive considering how Revenant's been painting. But of course, those specials helped a lot too. We see the Stingray coming out, Emmett trying to get some picks that way, or at least put on some pressure. Hunedge going to try to scout forward. Eventually, they're going to have to pop the Inkjet. We see the armor, but when is the Inkjet going to come out? Just waiting for the Rainmaker to get closer. Oh, can't pop it out. But Revenant is getting closer with the Rainmaker, not quite at the point where they could take the lead. They're taking their time, as they should. I'm not sure if they want to consider another route, as the rest of the team is occupied with that space of the map. But it looks like they want to push forward. It just really comes down to whether or not they're able to charge their specials, whether or not they're able to get their shots off. Right now, Universal is just putting so much pressure on the Rainmaker carrier up until the point that they had to drop. Bishop just painting ahead now as their team picks up the Maker. They're going to try to extend their lead. We see the Fizzy Bomb coming out. We see the bombs. We see the Baller. We fly high. Woomph coming out with the Rainmaker right now. Just trying to put some more points on, but it's just a grind.
Yeah, right now, Revenant a few moments ago were really well done pushing up because they really need to get that pressure on Charger, but right now there is 2 downs at a Universal, which means they got to get their paint and they got to get opportunity to push up.
Yeah, the Rainmaker's just reset. Revenant's been getting some good picks, but it really just comes down to, that didn't look good. Bishop is just on it right now. But yeah, it really just comes down to, are they able to clear a path forward in order to make a suitable push? Because they've been doing pretty solidly on the defensive end, and they've been able to make their specials work that way, but they really haven't been able to take the initiative on the offense that Universal has been able to.
Yeah, right now we are seeing a 2 down instead of Revenant right now, which means that Universal is going to have to try and position themselves in a way where they can make sure that there aren't going to be any flanks and try and, get them from behind to get the lead. But right now I believe that's a K-shot from the side of Revenant is going to be trying to go from left to try and potentially get a push. But Right now they will be going over to mid, going over to left now. It's actually 3v3 on both teams, 2v2 now. But yeah, things looking pretty even. Three down. Revenant right now is gonna have to take his a chance. There is only 1 minute left, meaning that chances of them being able to push up are going down by the minute.
Yeah, but they have the Rainmaker now. And it looks like Revenant is going to try to flank. Oh, but Universal was anticipating it as Archer just shuts down the push in a flash. That was crazy. I mean, I wonder why Universal didn't try to flank themselves, but but Revenant picks the Rainmaker back up. They're about to take the lead. They've got a clear path to plant, and they plant it. Revenant rising from the dead, getting that one map just as a little proof that, yeah, we could have taken this set if we wanted to. We just had some bad luck the first couple sets, but that is all right. Way to make a statement. I was wondering, when is one of these teams going to flank? Because they were just taking the same path every time, and all four of the players were focused. That first push, it looks like one of the members of Universal was noticing, but maybe it was a distraction, maybe it was a diversion. The rest of the team was able to just clean house and just lay the red carpet, or rather the neon green carpet, before the Rainmaker carrier, just so that they could plant it.
Yeah, I mean, that really just begs the question further. Like, was it could that game have gone quicker if they flanked? Would it have been the same length? Like, what would have happened? Like, would have there been a knockout from the side of Universal, or would it have been a knockout from the side of Reverend, like how it was just now? It really just like, I mean, that was really well done. That flank was really well done. But I mean, yeah, like what would have happened if they tried that flank earlier, both teams?
Yeah, that's something both teams are probably going to meditate on for a little bit. But all in all, that was a fantastic set. Chat, throw some ones in the chat if you enjoyed that set. I'm trying to see a whole line of ones in the chat right now. We're going to take a very brief break, but keep it tight.
Welcome back, everyone, to Swim Earthing 21. Once again, I am Bandkid, and with me here today in the commentator booth, we have Bash with me.
Hey.
But yeah, before we start our round 3 match, Cam Newton Fan Club against License to Krill. Just a little reminder that IPL has recently opened up Swim Earthing and Testing Ground stuff applications. In addition to SOS and Testing Ground applications, we also have applications open for our production and commentary teams. If you are interested in helping out in these areas, please fill out the form I will be pasting soon in chat. If you are interested in more than one area, you can fill out the form multiple times for the areas that you would like to play.
So first map, Clam Blitz on Inkblot. This is gonna be fun. I see a lot of close range weapons coming in. What sort of specials are you expecting?
I don't really know about specials, but I mean Inkblot, that's a really fun map to play on. Inkblot's a really well-rounded game to play on. I mean, speaking of specials, I would love to see some bubbles. You know, like if you're going through the enemies cut, I mean, bubbles are just a great way. Blocking a push, you know, putting bombs are always a good choice for that. Just, you know, I would love to see some of that.
We see a Brella and we see an E-leader, and it's a Tentabrella too. You think we might see an unstoppable horse versus immovable object type match?
I mean, most likely. I mean, the 4K scope, that's a good choice here. I mean, I feel like for Inkling especially, it's just like a really good idea to have a long range backline. So for Cam Newton to blow that out, that's a really smart idea.
License to Krill coming out with the Stingray, gonna try to counter snipe a little bit. Can't really hit anyone, but surely that's put on some pressure. And now we got the Ultra Stamp, gonna try to put the hammer down, say you can't touch this. But yeah, no, it looks like it doesn't look like too much is happening on the engagement end. Looks like we're just gathering clams. Ooh, but one of the License to Krill players, the Brella player, gonna try to pick off Mr. LGX, but can't quite do it. So far, License to Krill has the clam advantage as well, but not a power clam quite yet. Still got to collect, still got to pass it around. Some of the Cam Newton fan club players are spreading out and trying to keep it steady, especially now that License to Krill does have a power clam in play. They're trying to make one of their own. They have made one of their own, but the Stingray is going to try to shut it down. It really is just coming down to timing, choosing your moment, making sure you can make a play that will allow you to not only break the barrier, but score a lot of big points. Because both squads seem to have the play strategy and loadout that suggests a lot of production in a very short amount of time.
Yes, I mean, we are actually. I would just like to note real quick. We are about to go into 3 minutes left on the clock, and not 3 minutes, 2 minutes left on the clock, and we haven't even seen anyone push up. I mean, yes, or sorry, we haven't seen anyone get any progress. I mean, we have seen power clams being pulled, and we've been seeing there we go, right there, Commentators curse. But yeah, like up until this point, we didn't really see anything. But yeah, in the first push for the game, we do see them pushing up
Oh my
pretty
goodness.
far in, 35 down, 2 down inside of Legends of Krill. But that will not stop them from getting up in, which means only in one push they got it down to 26 remaining.
That was a very good barrier break. A lot of clams thrown in from the player who popped the armor to start it off. Melee Nana just wobbling that barrier. Hashtag free melee. But right now, Cam Newton Fan Club is about to bounce back. They haven't gotten a power clam just yet, besides the pity clam that is waiting at their barrier. But they're trying to push inside as well and see if they've got an opportunity to open too. And it looks like they're going to try to push people back, try to pop armor themselves. One of the players overextended, overcommitted as well, paid the price for it. But there are still 3 players up on the side of Cam Newton Fan Club, but they've all hung back as well. They've got a power clam in play and that backup, but it doesn't look like they're really ready to do anything with it just yet.
Yeah, it's also really important to note that that just then, whenever they were trying to push up, they were not able to, because I mean they were just taking too long, and that was able to actually bring down. It was doing more harm than good, because they got 1 pick. The Legends Krill got 1 pick on Cam Newton, which, I mean, even 1 pick, that could be the thing that starts off the push. Which, I mean, even then, right now, they thankfully didn't get pushed up. But I mean, yeah, I mean that was a pretty risky play we saw there.
Yep, you take any opening you can, but you got to be smart about it too. License to Krill has a power clam once again, and the players are making a steady push. Very good engagements, very good team picks. And we got the armor popped again, and another broken barrier. They could potentially end it here. 10-7. Ooh, these have just been really good. And it looks like the barrier is going to be closed unless this player can sneak up, but no, they couldn't. But License to Krill is just taking it to Cam Newton Fan Club. They've got 28 penalty points, so they need 35 to score. That is 7 times 5, and there's 7 remaining. So let's see if License to Krill can add up the kill count and multiply their chances of winning.
I mean, we are seeing only a few seconds left. We only see about 15 seconds left, and right now they got to pick up that pity and try and push up. I mean, do that on the side of Cam Newton, though. They will be getting a clam in, which means that they will also potentially getting a new power clam in, which will, I believe that's a knockout?
Was power clam 2-piece.
Yeah, yeah, that was a knockout. Just to add, I mean, they were able to knock it out like last second. So, yeah, I mean, but Cam Newton was able to try their best to get that in, though.
Yeah, it's like they had the dub lined up, but they wanted to send a message. And the knockout's a great way to do that. I mean, yeah, no, I think it's clear what Cam Newton Fan Club needs to do. It's not that they weren't aggressive enough. They could have pushed more, of course, but when they did try to push, they weren't quite as coordinated. They need to sort of think about how to go on the offensive a little bit more. And the next map being Tower Control on Starfish main stage, it's a large map and a mode where the action's always moving, so there are a lot of factors to come into play. They're certainly using this intermission period to try to come up with things that they want to improve on. So we'll see exactly what they try to do, whether it's change up their loadouts or just change up their playstyle.
I mean, personally, I would love to see a bomb pulling out. I mean, being pulled out, because like on Starfish, in front of Snipe Pod Street, I believe it's where the first or second checkpoint is. That's like a really good place to throw bombs to try and get people away from the area. Because if they push up tier snipe, that's a really crucial part that they get advantage of. So I mean, really, just for any team, like that's a really important thing to just like not give up a snipe, and then like just keeping their street safe, because they can get a cut if they jump from the tower to snipe.
Mm. Yeah, counter sniping is going to be a very big point here. Of course, we're going to see some backline action, but I am expecting to see one player on each side with both a close range weapon that would be designed for both general offense and harassing backliners, as well as a special that could assist them with this, like armor or a booyah bomb or something.
Yeah, for sure. But in fact, we will be seeing the siege that's gonna being stayed pulled out, but instead of a 4K scope, we will be seeing a scope, just a normal scope being pulled out from Cam Newton. But yeah, everything else seems pretty fine. I mean, they will be able to get out an armor, both of them, which means it's just gonna help set them up for a good early push if they get in some picks for both teams.
Turtle staying on the Pentabrella, so he's still going to try to protect their teammates with that wall. Bronze making that push off with the Stingray, an offensive ray without even jumping on the tower, which was strange, but it apparently works as License to Krill is putting points on the board. Melee Nana just handing off the offense, going past checkpoint 1. Wave dashing past that Stingray. Ooh, just hopping back on the tower. Very good vertical game. Very good avoiding of all of the defense of Cam Newton Fan Club. Melee Nana has got the close range on lock, and the bubble is the key to keeping it in lock.
Yeah, actually, right now we will be seeing License to Krill pushing it up all the way to 43. There is one down on the side of Cam Newton that's currently respawning. But yeah, right now they're just trying to put as much pressure as they can on the tower. Right now we will be seeing someone actually flanking the tower. 2 down on the side of License to Krill. That means that this will most likely be the end of the push, but actually there will be 2 down on the side of Cam Newton, so who knows what's going to be happening.
Oh, there's a DC on Cam Newton Fan Club. Do they keep playing at this point? I mean, it looks like they're just playing as normal. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to keep playing. So yeah, that's going to hurt, having that backline, even though Melee Nana was just dancing around it, but that seemed to be like the deciding factor that would have allowed Cam Newton to play a little better. But yeah, they're close to knockout. It's like 8 points left, but it looks like, ooh, yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Yeah, now License to Krill, map and set. Very unfortunate that they lost their backliner. That splatter scope could have gotten a lot of work done potentially. Maybe could have even turned the tide. But in all honesty, I couldn't have seen things happening any other way. They just grabbed the tower. They knew exactly where to put the specials, where it would hurt the most for Cam Newton Fan Club. And they were able to just dodge all of the fire coming at them. Just fantastic virtual footwork.
Yeah, that was a real. I mean, even though it did come to a sad ending from a DC, but it's still like, you know, I gotta keep on playing. I believe they were past the replay, or not replay, the required replay limits. I mean, I believe they could still replay if they wanted to, given time permits it. But yeah,
I'm not sure that they will be. We could be wrong, but if we aren't, the next map and mode, as you can see, is Zones on New Albacore Hotel. This is always an interesting map mode combo, because just the layout of the stage surrounding the zone, a lot of little gaps, you gotta be careful about where you're jumping, and of course, very good opportunities for backlines to do some work, but if License to Krill still employs that Pentabrella, we can see the defensive opportunities that are allotted on this map mode combo. It'll be an interesting map to watch either way. So all of the potential top level players trying to make their way up the ranks, be sure to take some notes.
yes, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 3 times. I would love to see a bomb being pulled out on this map. I mean, for Albacore, I mean, not really on Humpback like I've said before, but like I mean, for Albacore, like that's a really good map for a bomb. I mean, especially for zones, you just throw it down. That's a good amount of the zone that's covered just then and there. And then if you get another special, or even just like throwing your bombs, or just getting as much pressure as you can from just using your main weapon. I mean, that's basically at least a neutralize. So, I mean, I feel like a bomb is going to be really useful here. If not a bomb, probably a baller or just something that can paint the zone just like that in a few seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun to watch. Press 1 if you're excited to watch this. Anyways, yeah, we've got the scope coming out once again, or rather the E-Leader, and we've got the Tentabrella coming out once again. So we'll see exactly what kind of things Turtle decides to try in this map mode combo. So far, they're just letting the wall out just to try to coordinate a push, but Cam Newton Fan Club has been letting that curling bomb rush go to work, painting the zone early and keeping it painted as they continue to gather points. And now they're just trying to look at all the little gaps, see where all of the licensed Krill players may be running at, and pick them off. That arrow spray is doing a surprising amount of work. Not a lot of range to play around with, but if you can get close enough, ooh.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now there are actually, in fact, 2 down on the set of license the Krill, which is actually kind of the same for Cam Newton. One is respawning right now, but yeah, 3v3 right now. Cam Newton will be able to take it back. Cam Newton right now is actually doing really well keeping the push, but that will not mean that they will keep it for too much longer, as they will go ahead and take the zone back, but Cam Newton does not take no for an answer here, as they will neutralize it, but then a licensed Krill will come back and say, oh, we're going to try and keep this. But yeah, right now it just really starts the race of who's going to get zone, who's going to keep zone, or who's going to get zone.
58 penalty points is a lot, but again, licensed Krill has a lot to make up on their own, as they have 16 penalty points slapped onto them. Basically putting them at like almost like no progress, but at least they put some points on the board. Cam Newton Fan Club is going to push further, going to try to take those penalty points away. And yeah, no, they've been doing a good job at that. The NZAP is almost there to charging armor, which will allow Cam Newton Fan Club to be a little bit more ambitious when it comes to that offensive defense. The NZAP is going to sneak by and just, oh man, oh my goodness. The three-piece tenders, we are eating good tonight. Licensed to Krill, more like popcorn shrimp, as Cam Newton Fan Club gets rid of those penalty points and approaches knockout territory. Gonna take out that missile shooter. 5 points left. Is this gonna be it? This is it. Making Cam Newton proud with that one. It was like, where was this level of play during the first 2 maps? My goodness.
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of surprising. Like, I thought that was gonna be a bit more like, even. Like, but then no, Cam Newton was like, no, I'm gonna keep this. I'll let you have it different times, but I'm gonna keep this and knock it out. And then, not to mention that zap on the side of Cam Newton. Wow, they really, at the end, they did not have any pity for anyone on that team. They really, especially for the C Jet, like that Jet really was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick you off, revenge myself and my friends. But they're like, no, we're gonna get up in your face and kill you. So I mean, that was really well done from the side of Cam Newton. But great job to Licensed Krill also being able to take the win of the set. But yeah,
for sure.
I mean, that one game will definitely help Cam Newton in seeding, because keep in mind this was the last round of groups, meaning that we will be going to Top Cut very soon.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Licensed to Krill is no pushovers, because, like, they obviously won the set, but I'm still wondering, like, Cam Newton Fan Club really just went crazy on that 3rd map. Like, what was it? Was it just that, like, Splat Zones was a better map for them because they didn't have to pace themselves as much? either way, there's a lot for both teams to take home from this. We're gonna cut to a break. Keep it tight. Kids and squids, welcome back to Swim or Sink, the addition of which is the magic number multiplied by the lucky number. We have moved on into brackets. So it is best of 5, and we ain't playing all 5, so as soon as one of the teams gets 3 points, it is finished. We've got, this time around for round 1, Carnage Gaming, formerly known as Temptation, versus Ratio. What can we say about these squads?
All I can really say is, Temptation, I know they're good. They got a lot of potential. What I can say about Ratio, I hear the name Ratio, I already know Acid on there. So, and here we are, we do see Acid on here, so yeah. That's all I can really say. I can't I can't really wait to see how this set will play out as is the true top cut bracket. At this point, you're fighting for your tournament live. It's single elimination, it's best of 5. You gotta do whatever you can to stay in, and then get the finals whenever you can.
Well, Band Kid, I personally am very excited to see how this goes down. First map is Rainmaker on Mana Maria, so we are getting into the chaos right away. Depending on what playstyles these teams employ, we might be in for one heck of a match.
Yes, we gotta keep in mind that, again, like I said before, it's Rainmaker Monta, it could be either a pizza time match, you get to knock out in 30 seconds, or we could go into overtime for all we know. It really just depends. It's Monta, you're never safe with Rainmaker, especially on Monta. To get lead, it's easy to, you can just can't. You're always walking on eggshells whenever you're playing Monta Rainmaker. So yeah, but currently we will be seeing from Carnage Gaming. We will be seeing a pretty, kind of want to say a little paint-oriented comp, but we did got a little aggression. And then from the side of Ratio, we actually see kind of the opposite. We see a pretty aggressive comp. 1 down on the side of Carnage, 2 down on the side of Carnage, 3 down. That's almost a wipe, an opening wipe. One will jump back, which means they gotta take the Rainmaker and get a pretty they can get a pretty good lead over here.
Yeah, pick up the Rainmaker already. Yeah, we got our shell coming out here, and they do take the Rainmaker, but they're taking their time getting their points. Got to be careful with that Octobrush. They can be tricky, as our shell has proven. Yeah, at least if you're using a close range weapon, like a close range shooter or a pair of dualies, there is a very specific range where you're able to engage and they can't hit you back, but it is very specific. So our shell is just going to try to blitz the players of Ratio, and it seems to be working out so far, as our shell has been putting the members of Ratio in the back foot and just allowing Carnage Gaming to just maximize their point pickup. And yeah, no, it's already down to 22 compared to the 82 required by Ratio in order to get the knockout dub.
Yeah, we will see. I believe one's responding from the side of Carnage, meaning that right now Ratio they're pretty good set. They just gotta get the picks and paint. They gotta get map control for Splatoon. That's the thing that sets Splatoon off from everything else. You need map control. If you don't get map control, chances of you actually getting a good push are slim to none. But we will be seeing a 2 down the side of Ratio, which means that it'll make it even harder to push up. They will lose their Rainmaker, which actually one responding from the side of Ratio right now, meaning that Carnage needs to get back their map control I was talking about a second ago, and then they gotta hold positions to keep their keep the lead.
Yeah, every time Ratio puts themselves in a position to advance, something just happens. I want to think it's coming down to engagements, because Carnage is just peppering them on those right now. They've got the pieces, they just need to put the puzzle together, and that puzzle is just fighting back, it looks like. We see the Octo shot getting theirs. We see some well-timed shots with the Rainmaker, almost about to advance further, just waiting out that bomb rush and just lobbing those mortars out. Just in a position where it's really hard to hit. Almost could have taken out that Splatling, but definitely put some pressure on. Shiny does get a dime on another one of the players, though, just to lose the Rainmaker, but at this point, as long as you're putting pressure on Ratio and just preventing them from advancing further, That could be all it takes. And of course, you need to keep your eyes peeled because this is top cut. You don't want to lose the match because the other team just snuck past you and just planted it.
Yes, especially like I mean, currently we are all in game one, so it's kind of like speaking a little too early for this, but like I mean, it's best of 5, single elimination. Like you gotta play your cards right. If you play them wrong, I mean, possibly even one slip up in the wrong time, that could be the thing that sets you up for being eliminated. But yeah, right now we will be seeing Ratio trying to go in from the left, not a very popular side. One response from the side of Ratio actually. They will be trying to get more, but it looks like Shiny will be able to keep on pressuring that Rainmaker. But actually, they will be able to keep it going. And yeah, right now, Ratio right now is just really fighting for the left side.
Yeah, Shiny's been working wonders, shutting down that flank with the Stingray, bringing out the Stingray again, and then just beaming past the members of Ratio with that Jet Squelcher. But Ratio's getting closer. Oh, and they just shut it down just in time. Shiny, once again, putting that Jet Squelcher to work. It is hard to get past that when that Squelcher is just aiming as well as they are. Carnage decides to reset the Rainmaker just to be on the safe side, but they haven't really been getting too close to the Rainmaker just yet. They're all jumping towards now, but Ratio has decided to pick it back up, and they've decided we are going to try to push forward more. We're not going to give up. We're going to try to put Carnage Gaming as far back as we can, but Carnage once again has just been winning all of the engagements when they matter. 15 seconds left on the clock. What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, right now it's not looking too well for Ratio. They got to get that pop, get that just someone to pick it up to left. They will be able to pick it up. It's going into overtime right now, which means right now they got to get picks, get him whatever they can. They got to pick out that CJ with the GG Ray. They do pull out the GG Ray. One down on the side of Carnage. The Rainmaker is playing a tap dance right now, but they will get taken out by the GG Ray. And I mean that's why we call it the GG Ray. They were able to take it out. I mean that Carnage Gaming will be able to take the first game and this round 1 best of 5.
That's all it takes. And yeah, Shiny really shone during this. It looks like just Ratio just had their eyes caught in the glare. But really, all of Carnage Gaming was really productive. Got a lot of picks throughout the whole map. Just maintaining consistent, putting their feet down, and just preventing Ratio from getting as close as they needed to take the lead. If they keep this up, they'll probably do a good job the rest of the set. Of course, it was relatively close. And I mean, Splat Zones, like Rainmaker, is another fast, frantic type mode. So we'll have to see if one squad is able to get advantage over the other. This is Sturgeon Shipyard, so there is a lot of range. So that Jet Squelcher is probably going to stay out, but do you think we'll see some more backline action this map than before?
I personally think for sure. I mean, with Monta, it's a little bit more close quarters. That it's more it's overall better for shorter range weapons, but for Surgeon, like there's a lot of open space. I mean, not something like say a Wahoo Road or something like that, but I mean, it's still a really good map for longer range weapons rather than shorter range. So yeah, I mean, you got to get that get longer range, and then if you get longer range, put yourself in the right position. That's a pretty good set right there to just like get pushed up.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see. Sturgeon Shipyard is just one of those maps that just really tests players. There are just a lot of different parts where you could come out of in order to engage. So you can really experiment with your approach here, but at the same time, the players on the other team can too. So you really got to keep your eyes peeled. So we've got a Charger on one side and a Hydra Splatling on the other. So we'll have to see which backline philosophy ends up winning out in the end. Shell is staying out with the brush, going to try to put that to work. And Ratio seems to be getting the paint on early, but Carnage isn't making it easy, putting the suction bombs out, painting every corner they can, but Ratio is going to have the armor. That will help them engage, but it looks like Carnage has taken control pretty early and has forced Ratio into a position that's hard to recover from. And right as I say that, Ratio actually picks up the position themselves. More commentators cursing right there. But yeah, Ratio doesn't keep the lead for that long just to pick it back up. It really comes down to, are they going to keep trading? Is Ratio going to keep control long term? Carnage Gaming seems to have been pushed back, and I mean, they are painting now, but they have to make sure that they're able to push back Ratio and try to get more proximity to the zone themselves.
Yeah, right now we are actually seeing a one respawning from the side of Carnage. But speaking of which, there is one out. The zap ball down from the side of Carnage, and Ratio right now is putting themselves in a good position to keep the zone going. I mean, right now they have about 30 counters left, which is just making it easier for them, like, to just get map control stuff. But sadly, Carnage will be able to take back the zone, which means Ratio right now is going to have to try and fall back a little bit to, try and position themselves again, regroup, and do what they need from there.
Yeah, that bomb rush gave them exactly the opportunity they needed, and now they were doing a decent job at putting the zone in their control, but Ratio has decided to push pack and retake the zone, and now Carnage is having the duty to try to approach again. Carnage trying to move on from the right, using that charger to try to keep Overwatch, try to make some distance between Ratio and the zone, but that Splatling has been responding quite beautifully, and those penalty points are just whittling down right now. But as I say that, the bomb rush once again lapping Ratio in the face. Carnage tries to pick some more points up, but they're only just able to get some penalty points.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Carnage Gaming right now, they're kind of relying on that section launcher, which is not really the best thing to do. I mean, giving special is a really good thing in general, but I mean, like, relying on special, that isn't really too well. But we will be seeing Ratio being able to shred through this penalty, popping out a section launcher of their own. 3, 2, 1, the penalty is now over, but Carnage is going to try and push back up. Ratio is fighting for that zone, but will not be able to take it. 2 downside of Ratio. Carnage is able to push up and try and make their mark and try and get rid of their penalty to try and at least make some progress on the counter.
Yeah, Carnage has taken the zone, and it looks like they're getting their engagements back once again. They're answering the burst bomb rush with a suction bomb rush, and yeah, that charger is painting for some reason, but it seems to be working. They're getting closer to the lead. It looks like earlier that match they had difficulty defending the zone more than approaching and getting the zone painted, mainly because maybe they were just trying to figure out exactly what Ratio was going to try on the defensive end. But it seems like they've got it figured out now as they are approaching knockout. All it takes is a little bit more time, and that is it. Yeah,
That was a pretty good game from Ratio there. They were able to push up, keep it there, and then I mean, yeah, they were able to keep it up and stuff, but then Carnage was able to be like, no, I'm gonna keep it back. I mean, they were relying on their section launcher for a while, but I mean, they were able to push it up and keep it there, which means currently they are going 2-0, which means right now in this game 3, stakes are high for Ratio. I mean, if they don't play their cards right on Tower Control Reef, then I'm not ready to see what's gonna be happening for Ratio then.
Yeah, I think Ratio was just better at coming out at the start. They did some really good improv. They were able to capture the zone really quickly and just mount a good defense. But I think as soon as Carnage Gaming got a read, it was a wrap. Carnage was reading at like a college English master's degree level that time. Once they were able to just get the zone and anticipate all the defense, they were even like pushing in a little bit, which I personally don't see too often on Surgeon. Anyways, map 3 is tower control on the reef. So we get to see how these squads do when patience is introduced into the game. Do you think Carnage Gaming will be able to make it a 30? Do you think Ratio will be able to play it out?
I mean, the true question is I mean, will Ratio be able to come back, make a reverse sweep? Except, I guess you could say they could ratio the other team. I'm so funny. But yeah. um Ratio right now, I mean, they're gonna have to really be pulling out whatever they can for this game uh for this game 3. I mean, it's game 3. This is the thing that depends on Ratio's tournament career. If they don't if they don't really pull out the thing that they need to counter Carnage, then they're gonna be out from the tournament. Because keep in mind, as I said before, this is a single elimination.
Yeah, I think Carnage Gaming might have the advantage because what I've seen from the playstyles, Carnage is able to like wait it out a little bit more, get a good plan going, and put the chess pieces in place. Of course, I might be wrong. Ratio has made some sort of impact. I mean, they've been losing less players, but Ratio has been the first one to put points on the board. But Carnage Gaming is doing a good job of pushing them back now. It really depends on just how aggressive Ratio can be and whether or not they're able to do some reading as well.
Yeah, I mean, right now we will be seeing Carnage. They're pushing up a lot. The charger from the side of Carnage actually is doing well. They're keeping up the pressure. The thing is that currently there's actually people trying to flank from Ratio on the left side, meaning that they're going to, try and keep that looked over. But I mean, the charger is the only one that's up currently on Carnage, meaning that they are going to not Carnage. Ratio is going to be pushing up here. There is only a few counters away from the lead. About 6 or 5 counters left, which means right now things are looking up for Ratio in this game 3.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting to see. Ratio's pushing up the tower steadily, and the team members of Ratio are actually going really deep into the enemy spawn. They don't care about verticality. They don't care that they have the low ground. They're gonna cut into Carnage Gaming's defense anyways, and they're already past checkpoint 3. And is that gonna be the knockout? Oh, yeah, that's a wipe. That's a full wipe. That's it. Ratio really just said, pack it up. It's our time now, and there's gonna be a map 4. That was instantaneous. They really just picked themselves back up. That was impressive to see.
Yes, I mean, at this point, we're seeing a lot of game 3s that are like really stressful. I mean, like like how last set was in round 3 of round robin. Like we just randomly saw them like come back all of a sudden, like, and then so here Rachel comes back all of a sudden. But keep in mind, Carnage, they only need 1 game and then they take the set, which means for Ratio, they're still gonna be walking on eggshells until the end of the remake because if they get to game 5, they're gonna have to be doing everything they can because they gotta keep in mind it's Splatoon. I've said this before. It's over. It's not over until Judd comes up on your screen and says they win. It's not over until then.
Anyways, map 4 is Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. This is always an interesting one to watch because Snapper Canal's got really funny verticality with all the slopes, and the clams are just scattered everywhere. So a wide variety of weapons can work here. We're probably going to see some really interesting special play. This is going to be make or break for Ratio. If they can prove that they finally figured that out, they're able to rally together and mount a crazy kind of offense, this could be their ticket to the next round. I feel like, yeah, no, this is probably going to be the deciding map. Of course, anything can happen on map 5, but it's all about momentum at this stage, at least to me.
I mean, like we're all right now, like all it is like forget about game 5 at this point. Like this is game 4. This is the thing that really decides if game 5 is gonna happen. Because beforehand, like maybe you got like game 3 in that side. Wait, no, game 4. Sorry, don't mind me. But game 5, like it's really like just forget about game 5 because like okay, just think you need to be like in the second, and then you can worry about game 5 whenever like it comes in. Like I mean, right now especially for Ratio, they got to be in that mindset. Like focus on this game because that's really going to depend if you even get to game 5 or not.
So it looks like we've got Shiny's pulling out the Bamboozler. Ooh, Yeah, no, it looks like we got some close range on both squads. This clan blitz, we're about to be rushing like Moscow. Right now, it looks like we're steadily picking up clams on both sides. Nobody's picking up too many now. It looks like the aim of the game for both teams is just to clean house and then walk all over to the barrier. I mean, I'm not sure if we want to do that before picking up a lot of clams, but Ratio has been slowly but surely picking up. Yeah, they're probably on the verge of getting a power clam now. Pulling out the missiles. Sticky just getting the shots steadily out with the splatter shot. About to get a power clam very close to the barrier. There is another power clam that has been generated for Ratio.
There are Sticky right now is falling back with 9 clams. Right now they've really got Sticky especially is watching on eggshells right now. I mean, they got 9. They could possibly get a very good first push, opening push on this game. They only just need 1 more clam, and then and if they get those clams, then that's automatically 60 points, and that's in the first about two minutes, which is really well. I mean, they do get that
There's
first
one.
They do
There's
get that
2.
second one in.
And they're throwing in more clams. Oh, wow. Already down to 39. Some Tom Brady type action going on here. Yeah, no, I really like what Ratio were doing. They were winning those engagements, but they were also very careful not to overextend because they knew that if they were wiped, Carnage Gaming could very easily take advantage of that. And now Carnage Gaming is picking up some clams themselves. They got the pity clam waiting for them at the barrier in order to get a 1-2 punch themselves. But before any of that, they're going to want to take out all of the players of Ratio. And Ratio is obviously not having it. Sticky is sticking to the plan of staying close to the barrier, picking up all of the clams, and just signing and dealing it away.
Yeah, I mean, I love how Ratio were able to push in and able to get that what is it? Be able to get in and get that push. I mean, they are sitting at 39 right now, which is it's comfortable for now. But I mean, given later on in the match, they're gonna have to try and get another push. But it looks like they possibly will. They do get another one in. They got about 16, meaning that they're getting more progress. They're 3 down currently on side of Ratio, which means they're gonna have to back up. Because if they get wiped, then Carnage is definitely gonna take advantage of that. Carnage currently has to take any opportunity they can to at least knock that counter down at least a few notches.
This missile and weapon coordination is absolutely just beautiful to see. Ratio is just handcrafting their offense, just absolutely making sure every part of their strategy is just to the utmost of perfection and just following through with it, coming out with the Rolls-Royce offenses. And they're pushing back Carnage Gaming plenty as well. Titan is just clashing with the members of Carnage Gaming right now, getting a 2-piece and pushing back the Power Clam carrier on Ratio as their teammates plant in another Power Clam, reducing the penalty points and just putting even more pressure on Carnage Gaming right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are seeing everyone is alive currently on the field, which means right now for Carnage, they really gotta try and get their picks. I mean, they do got 1 down, but I mean that isn't really enough to just get to form a good push to get it down to less than 23. I mean, they will be trying anyways. They possibly 2 down on the side of Ratio right now. They are sitting at 80 right now, and they have 2 clams on the field right now. They just gotta try and get picks to actually access them. But it looks like that will not be happening, which is not a really good first push for them, even though there is only that a minute left.
Yep, they had all of the ingredients, but they couldn't follow the recipe. And yeah, those 2 power clams just expired, and now Ratio is at the advantage once again. Gonna try to push back that power clam carrier with the missiles. Sticky sneaking past. Gonna try to pick up as many clams as possible to try to break the barrier themselves, but that was an overextension, and the teammate who squid jumped, that was not a good decision, as Carnage Gaming has broken the barrier once again. 50 points left, but it is 10 seconds left on the clock. Ratio has to wake up in order to make sure that they take this one home, because as they do have a clear advantage, as you said, it ain't over till it's over, and there is still a green power clam in play last I checked.
Yeah, right there. You just gotta get. I mean, right now Ratio has to really wait it out or
Oh,
try to get another campman. I mean, right now we are seeing Carnage really fighting for their lives right now. One on the side of Carnage looks like that may be game. Yeah, it will.
what an absolute massacre to just finish it off. Just players on both teams picking each other off one after another, after another, after another. That was just the diversion that Ratio needed to take this home. I don't know. Maybe they just needed a little hop in their step. Maybe they just needed to wake up a little bit. It was like, yeah, no, this is the big leagues. We need to be up on our business, and it looks like that's where they are because now it is 2-2. Ratio, of course, looking for the reverse 30 with the momentum they have gained, but it is Rainmaker on Anchovy Games. Carnage Gaming won the last Rainmaker map that we played, but that was Manta Maria. That was all up close and personal. You think Ratio might have a much better chance here?
I mean, I think it's possible. You know, possibly Ratio could ratio this game. Bringing that joke back. I'm so funny, but yeah, Rainmaker and Anchovy, they really got to be on their toes for this one. Like everyone's on their toes. Like Carnage Gaming before, like they were like, oh, okay, we're fine, we're fine. You know, we got one game left, but like now it's game 5. This is gonna be the decisive choosing factor. Okay, who's going to take this set and who's gonna take this set moving on to round 2? Who's gonna leave this set going home with nothing but just defeat? I mean, really, this is quite a tense game. Game 5.
Indeed. And there is a substitute on the side of, let me check, Ratio. So it looks like they are changing up their strategy a little bit, maybe adding in a player who is more capable on the Rainmaker side. We'll have to see what exactly is going on when the players and the comp come out. I'm excited either way. This is gonna be Ratio's redemption game right here, possibly. This could be it. This could be the one that sends them over to the next round and allows them to prove that they belong.
This could really I mean, this game 5, like we've been all like, oh my god, like this is a game 5. I mean, it's also in Rainmaker Anchovy, like it's pizza time. It's gonna be pizza time, or is it gonna be an overtime game? Like it's really, or is it gonna be like in 3 minutes? Is it gonna be in 2 minutes? Is it gonna be the whole 5 minute game but no overtime? Like it's really just like overtime Rainmaker. Like who knows? And then also the question is, are they gonna take it the normal way, normal 2 ways, or are they gonna take it the stupid way?
I feel like if this was Manta or Blackbelly, it kind of would be like that. But I don't know. Anchovy is kind of a hard map to sneak up on. If you were gonna try to see a team do one and done like that, they would have to absolutely just steamroll the other team. And given how much Carnage Gaming and Ratio have been up against each other, there isn't really too much of a chance of that happening, unless it was like a last minute thing, or unless this happened to be a map that really advantages one team or the other. Because most of the engagements this set have been close.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this I've said before. I said again. This is sure it's gonna be a game 5. We're gonna be seeing it momentarily. Is there anything you'd like to see being pulled out, comp wise?
I'm not sure. Uh, I mean, this is a map that has a lot of range, but given the nature of Rainmaker, I'm not sure if I want to see an extremely long range backliner weapon or not. Some Splatlings would be cool to see, but yeah, no, I don't know. Anything could be pulled out here.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it's really up to the teams. I mean, like, I would love to see Cam Machine here. Like, Cam Machine's really well on keeping pressure down on Anchovy, especially on their roof. You know, really anywhere for Cam Machine and stuff. Like getting fizzy bombs. You got that indirect stuff, but yeah.
Anyways, here we go. Game 5 for all the marbles. Yeah, we got a soda slosher, I think that is. So that'll be good for going up against the high ground, but Carnage Gaming is doing their varied range lineup again and ends up a what's it? Jet Squelcher, an Octo Brush, and an Octo Shot. So Carnage Gaming wanting to keep all of their bases covered. Ratio is a more of a rushing type loadout, so we'll see if they're able to keep up the temperature.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are seeing, in fact, 2 down from the side of Carnage Gaming. I mean, they're both responding now, but I mean, Ratio right now, they have the opportunity to push up. I mean, currently it's been neutral since the beginning of the match. We are approaching 1 minute into the game. Carnage Gaming does currently have the advantage of people up on the field, which means that they may be able to get the first push in. They do pick up the Rainmaker, but the question is will they be able to pop off in a good opening push for Anchovy? I mean, they do only have 30 minutes, which, I mean, the more time that passes, the less amount of time you have to push up. They are not going down to 26 and 10, and it looks like that actually will be a knockout from the side of
Carnage Gaming had the Ultra Stamp, and they just put the hammer down on Ratio. They just walked through it. That was like, wow. Carnage Gaming really said, turn off your controllers, take out that cartridge, drive it back to GameStop for $9. That was, I have no clue exactly how they got away with that. I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you think they got away with it? Was it just a matter of winning the engagements and then pulling out the hammer at the right time?
Or maybe was it just like something like, okay, what's gonna happen? Like, I mean, is it gonna be like they get paint, like they get paint, they push up? Is it like, did they have like an invisible tent protecting them or something? Like, is there like some kind of lag? Like, what's happening over here? Like, I mean, that was the definition. I mean, it may not have been a quote pizza time, but it may have been like, oh, pizza's on the way, hurry it up, snappy. But yeah, that was a really interesting game 5. I mean, you were like, oh wow, this is gonna be really tense, and then here we are, like 2 minutes later with a knockout like that. Like, that was a pretty crazy, like, that was unpredictable.
For all we know, it could have just been a misstep on the part of Ratio. They probably didn't know what was about to happen, because they really just walked up slowly and planted the Rainmaker. They really did. But GG's to both squads. It's gonna be fun seeing what Carnage Gaming does from here. But as we switch rounds, we are going to switch out commentators as well. Thank you so much for having us. I've been Bash Dash. I've been with Band Kid, and we'll catch y'all soon. Peace.
See you all later. Good night.
everyone, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 21. I'm Sky, and I'm joined here by Cater.
Hello.
We are currently getting into our round 2 of Top Cut with Welcome to Good Burger versus Revenant.
I always love the team names that I hear because I never know any of these teams that we're watching. So I don't know anybody, so I like the names and I get taken by surprise.
Welcome to Good Burger has actually played in SOS at least more than once. I don't really know much about Revenant, so I can't really speak much on either of them. I've just mainly seen Welcome to Good Burger.
Well, I don't have any expectation either, so I'm excited to see what they have to bring. No expectations means no bias, hey.
That is true.
So it looks like for maps, we are round 2 here. We're going to be starting off with zones on Humpback. And you have any thoughts on this map mode?
So Zone's Humpback is you need a very painty comp, and you need to be very you need to very much so keeping track of how much paint you have on that. From Revenant here, we have a Junior, a Bamboozler, a K-52, and a Nautilus. And from Welcome to Good Burger, we have a Junior, CDS, Dapples, and a Dynamo.
Ooh, I like the pick of the Dynamo because you get a lot of turf coverage with that, and you can also take advantage of the fall off. You don't need direct line of sight to kill somebody. And with all of the slopes on Humpback, you really don't ever have direct line of sight to anybody.
And I think that's actually something that works really well for Dynamo, actually, because Dynamo just in general works very well around corners and around slopes and stuff. So Humpback is a very good map for Dynamo as a whole.
Yeah, you do also see that sort of gameplay with sloshers. I am minor. That's not the right word. Slightly surprised that we're not seeing any sloshers out of either of these teams, because usually you'll see a Soda or a Triad, something of the sort, come out. But hey, I mean, the Dynamo is rather common, and I also the pick of the K-52 doesn't really have me surprised either with the recent paint buff and its ability to just spit out Booyah bombs now. It's getting pretty common.
Definitely. Whether you like or hate that is definitely up to interpretation. I think seeing Booyah Bomb in general with zones is just something that's also pretty common. So seeing K Dynamo in specific, whether it's for its special or just because of the weapon itself, doesn't really surprise me much either, because of the fact, one, Dynamo, as I said prior, works really well on this map, and Booyah as a whole is just really nice to help try and paint zone. Like, there are definitely some people who will sometimes run double Booyah.
Yeah, and that's actually back to the match that we are here. That was a full wipe on the side of Welcome to Good Burger, and Revenant is rocketing towards the KO here, pretty much in the single digits now. And so Welcome to Good Burger does neutralize the zone.
They try really hard to actually try and take back that zone and give them a really big penalty. However, Revenant's able to take that good, very clean KO there.
Yeah, I mean, especially in zones games, nothing's really over until it's over. I've taken back games from neutralizing and capping that zone at one point and applying that hefty penalty, as you said. But if you can just KO and not even give your opponents a chance to win the game and have that comeback, well, more power to you.
Definitely, and I think that's something that is very nice to keep in mind when playing on any zone map, is as long as you're able to keep control of the map itself and they have a very big penalty, then you should in theory be able to take back the game, as long as you do not feed or have your teammates go down one by one.
Yeah, going in one by one can definitely just be devastating to a team, especially if you have a delayed wipe and then those respawns end up being staggered, so you don't have specials, you don't have backup, you're just, like you said, feeding kills to the enemy. But if you are able to collect yourselves, build your specials, and get reinforcements, maybe just one lucky kill, one bomb pick can be all that you need to using those specials. You can break out of the lockout. So it's just a matter of holding up offense versus defense and coordinating with your team, because this is a very team-based game. And actually, speaking of lockouts, we're going to be heading into Tower Control at Inkblot Art Academy, which can also be a very lockout map mode if you are not careful about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of choke points as well with this map, especially at a lot of the checkpoints. And once with tower control, after you get past the first checkpoint, you have that first checkpoint, but of course anything can happen there, and you can easily lose that. As soon as you go and you end up getting to about maybe checkpoint 3, is usually when you tend to, have things be a bit harder for whoever is not in the lead.
You're right about that. Those choke points. I would not be surprised though if we were to see a charger or maybe a V heavy or even a C jet, some sort of ray thing, because if you have those rays, you can just, if you're not in a good spot, maybe you can just jump out and then you can release that ray and perhaps just end the push there. I mean, ray, if timed correctly, can really be a push helper or kill the enemy team's push, because it applies that chip damage, it forces people to scatter, and that chip damage can help your teammates get kills, or you can even get picks yourself. So would not be surprised to see some of that. You make a great point with the checkpoints though, just because that after that third checkpoint there's nothing to stop the other team from barreling to that KO. I mean, of course, always the chance that you stop them, don't give up, but it's just a lot harder, like you said.
Something that's also really important to note is also the tower has this sort of momentum too as well that I've noticed while playing the game. So even if nobody ends up being on the tower in the end, sometimes the tower decides it wants to do some probably not so great things to the opposing team, and it'll decide to KO even though nobody's on the tower.
Actually lost games to that before, where I killed people on the tower, but the momentum kept it moving, so we lost the lead in the last 30 seconds of the game or something like that, and we weren't able to bring it back, and we ended up losing the tournament set because of it. It wasn't very fun, but yeah, there's that little tower momentum mechanic that if you don't immediately get on tower after the opposing team loses control of it, it can keep moving ever so slightly. And don't know why it's there. It can be quite unfortunate, but they can also get you the lead. So, trade off. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, and I think it's also something that once you are able to take note of, when you need to push in essentially. And it's also good to know if you're also, in a similar situation where you're trying to take a win.
Yeah, definitely. Something else I'd like to note about Inkblot is how important controlling that plat area is. So for those of you that don't know callouts, plat is that area kind of in between mid and spawn. So you go up, it's the area that you go down the slick ramp and then just that flat area, and then you go down another ramp and you're in mid. Hopefully I explained that right. I don't really know how else to explain it, but it's very important in pretty much all maps on all modes, on Inkblot, but especially Tower, because the tower spends most of its time there. After you get out of mid, you're gonna be swarming around on plat looking for the picks on the enemies, but the enemy team also has that overlooking portion that their spawn leads out to, so they can stand up there and shoot down on you from there.
Yeah, plat is very important. If you don't have that entirety of plat painted, and I don't know if this is in tower control, but there's also that wall that's on the left side next to the plat as well. which is kind of like borderline people essentially getting into your spawn.
I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to.
So on Inkblot, there's that wall that is right next to the ramp that leads into Plat.
Oh yes, the climbable wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And-
not quite sure whether that's in tower or not, but yeah, it is useful in modes like Rainmaker to provide an alternate route to the pedestal. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether that's present, but it does provide another route to that overlook.
Definitely. I guess while we're here, we can also talk about the other maps here.
Yeah, definitely.
After tower control on Inkblot, we're gonna be going into Clamblitz Mako, and I might be a bit, maybe more than a bit biased, but I really, really like Mako, and I also really, really like Clamblitz.
Just a little bit biased.
I mean, a little bit.
I once missed 3 power clam throws on 3 separate pushes while playing with my team here, so funny little memories attached to this stage. But I will agree with you on it that I actually do quite like this map mode. You know, Mako is a very good stage all around. I know people that love Mako. I don't really know anybody that hates Mako, so I think it's a great stage all around. It is very easy to push with clams, you know, like there's a very short distance from mid to the basket, so if you're not careful, people will just kind of run up to your basket. But that also does make it relatively easy to defend if the enemy has not taken proper control of the areas that they need before they start their push. Like if they just kind of run in and throw in a power clam, you can usually close them out pretty quickly.
I suppose it also depends on how they end up doing that, because when I play on this map, I tend to actually do that exact thing, where I will go on to the right stack and I will just run and jump, and I 9 times out of 10 usually am able to get that power clam in, and that has actually been what's saved a lot of games for me. Whether it's been in tournament, which that's happened at least once, or whether it's just me playing in solo queue.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you die, getting that clam in, if it's some desperate overtime push, or even if it's just enough to tie up the game or open up to a game-winning push, can be very important. And like you said, running and dropping, 9 times out of 10 you get that power clam in. I have learned to start aiming my power clam throws after that game. but after that, it's a learning experience, you know. They say you learn from your mistakes, and I guess that's the perfect example of that. But it should be interesting. We are guaranteed to see that map mode, though, I believe. So I am looking forward to seeing what happens. It does seem like we are going to be starting this second match here back on tower control and Inkblot, so kind of bringing ourselves back to this little tower control on this map mode instead of Clamblitz Mako.
On the side of Revenant here, we have a junior bamboo hero dualies and K52. There's maybe like one little difference that I notice here is that they just don't have a Nautilus. And on the side of Welcome to Goodburger here, we have a Zap, a Luna, Dapples, and a K-Shot. However, they both of these teams, like right in the beginning here, have gotten a lot of people just down consistently. 2 down consistently, 1 down currently for both teams here. They've just been getting them picks, and here we have the K-Shot from Welcome to Goodburger just trying to get that flank on the bamboo, but not getting it quite, jumping back and missiling as they also get missiled themselves.
Yeah, they get missiled twice, actually. But you know, what goes around comes around. That is a double missile comp, I believe, out of Revenant with the Bamboo MK1 and the Hero Dualies. Hero Dualies I don't see often. Perhaps I mean, you generally don't see those 3 sets of vanilla dualies that often in comp anymore, but I do think that burst bomb missile combo can really help them here, especially in tower control where missiles force people to scatter, force them to get off the tower even for a split second. 2 down on the side of Welcome to Good Burger, but they will be trying to continue that push. Again, the K-Shot firing off yet another round of missiles, and now both teams are 2 down, and they did not they did get it past the first checkpoint, not quite to the second checkpoint though.
We have Emmett here who gets that nice pick on the opposing team's K-Shot, and instantly their hero dualies go down on Revenant, and we have a Luna Blaster going against a Bamboo, and yikes. Zap ends up taking out Emmett, actually, and ends up going right back on tower. Welcome to Good Burger's actually been able to hold tower pretty well, even when they had 2 people down, and Revenant had the upper hand in regards to having most of their team still being up.
Yeah, here's what we were talking about. You see that, Welcome to Good Burger. I guess I was gonna say they had that plat ink. They looked like they were setting up for a great push there, but unfortunately they did go 3 down with the Luna being the last one remaining. So it looks like they are going to have to end their push there. They did touch the second checkpoint at 54 remaining now, so that is a rather nice lead going into the second half of our match here, but still anything can happen.
Yeah, like you said, anything can happen, and while you even were saying that, we saw that Revenant's push almost got completely shut down by Welcome to Good Burger here too. But God, this junior is just going at it, helping out their teammates, supporting them like a good junior should, and throwing bombs, popping armor, just overall keeping that plat painted for their teammates, getting a little bit of shots on those people and their teammates getting the final kills, getting those assists, everything that a junior should be doing and helping their teammate out. And it does work, actually, because Revenant's able to take the lead here.
They take the lead and they actually make it past that second checkpoint too. Not any further, but they completely ticked that down. So that's going to be very important if they do manage to keep this push going. They are 2 down. And so it looks like Welcome to Good Burger is going to be able to retake control of this tower again, but now they have their work cut out for them because they still have that second checkpoint to get through, and where that tower is standing still, it makes it a lot easier of a target for the enemies. So they've really got the bar set high for them.
Here we have the K-Shot who's just, just kind of going around, and they're kind of zipping through, throwing bombs, painting around, missiling. They're doing their job the best that they can, and they're doing it really well. Just sitting on tower and making sure that their teammates, and even actually that flank there, I personally lack so much awareness sometimes that I probably would have died to that flank that was on the tower there. So the fact that the K-Shot was able to see that and as well as call that out, most likely because both them and their teammate actually got right on top of that.
Yeah, we see a very nice push coming right back out of Welcome to Good Burger, able to take back the lead. We are now 32-37, which is only 5 points in the last 5 seconds of this match, but it does look like with Revenant in control of the tower, we are going to be forced into an overtime, and unfortunately they immediately lose the tower, so no overtime for them. That is a very close match, but in Welcome to Good Burger's favor.
I think we're more than guaranteed just seeing Macomart and Clams at this point now.
And look at those kill counts out of the hero dualies and the junior, 21 and 20 respectively on the side of a Revenant, so they definitely put out their worth in picks and assists, even though they did not get the game.
Going into our next match, we're going to be having Clamblitz on Mako, which we did talk about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a chance to get into this earlier before the tower match, but like I said before, quite just an all-around likable map mode here, unless you hate Clamblitz with a passion, which I guess is a sizable chunk of the player base, but we're not going to discuss that incorrect opinion here. I'm totally not biased whatsoever. I also do see an abundance of sloshers on this stage just because, you see Slosher being able to reach up onto those two stacks and also can take advantage. There are a lot of slopes on this stage. They are rather slight slopes, but they still exist. And so having that very slight height advantage can help even a shooter player with that little edge on the fall off there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, like, people like to use sloshers and stuff on this map, and I feel like a lot of that does definitely go down to sloshers work really well when it comes to slopes, but it's also these corners make it really nice to just play a slosher, because you don't even need to, like, be in front of the person. You can actually just play with your corners and easily just aim above, and that's what probably makes people actually really like playing sloshers on this map. At least that's from what I've gathered while playing this game as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. I am a former Soda player, and I can speak to that. And hey, there is the slosher. We are seeing a slosher deco, so that is going to afford baller pushes. Actually, a rather short-range comp out of Welcome to Good Burger here, and we have the C-Jet from Revenant, the longest range weapon on this field by a mile. A Stingray already coming out not even 15 seconds in, so we'll have to see how Revenant deals with that. And actually, it looks like they dealt with it with an armor, which is a textbook counter to Ray.
Yeah, it doesn't quite surprise me that CJ was able to get that that Stingray out so quickly, because hell, as long as you have some charge up and you have and you paint up most of your spawn first thing off the bat, then it's as simple as getting your first pop with armor, essentially. Obviously, instead it's just a giant ray that you're going to be pointing at all of your enemies, but...
Yeah. I play C-Jet now myself. I do not play Slosher anymore, so having running two mains, one sub special charge is exactly what I can do. We see two early pushes, actually. This is the second out of Revenant here, taking their timer down to 67, but they do not get a lot. They get no follow-up off of that second clam, as they did go 2 down, I believe. So we see the Slosher coming in with that baller, the swaying to signal to their team, and looks like they're going actually for both the super jump. They get both the clams in, so that is going to take the lead, because that is automatically 60 for them, and we'll have to see whether they can follow up on that push at all.
Yeah, and here we see Welcome to Good Burger is able to, like, I think they got 2 power clams in?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got 2 power clams in.
At the same time.
Getting a lead of 51 to 67, which definitely, things could definitely change here, because if we look, Revenant does not have that big of a penalty, and so things changing in regards to Revenant getting much more on their score could definitely happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at the clam counts right now. 17, well, it was 20-something, but unfortunately it looks like that C-Jet is getting very much fired on, so that's a delayed wipe on the side of Revenant. I guess, as I'm commenting on how good their situation is, the Commentators curse catches up to me, which is, I guess, rather early in my commentating. I'm only on the 3rd game. Please give me a break here, Fate. But I guess a break is what I do not get, as we see Welcome to Good Burger. A lot of pressure on Revenant right now. They do still have the lead. We're in the second half of the match now by a little bit, but that Booyah Bomb did come out at the K52, and so they were able to break out of that. Here's exactly what you were talking about, the Slosher aiming above the K-Gal, unfortunately not able to hit that, so the K-Gal does take them out. And it looks like Welcome to the Good Burger with that Ray coming out is looking for another... not Welcome to Good Burger, sorry, Revenant is looking for another push here to take the lead.
Yeah, this K52 here has been dominating here and just putting that wall down, just throwing the Booyah off to the left side, taking somebody out even, and just continuously keeping underneath that basket painted for their teammates to possibly get a push in. And that's exactly what they do, as they continuously get that power clam in, and then they continue to throw more and more clams in, just trying to keep that basket open. However, it looks like the push is going to be stopped by Welcome to Good Burger at a good lead of 27, but it looks like Welcome to Good Burger is going to fire back very, very quickly. But as I say that, Revenant instantly pops that Stingray and aiming it onto the opposing team's clam.
Yeah, unfortunately, with that power clam, even the Stingray user can see where you are at all times. So it makes, if you're not doing a very good job of dodging, it makes for pretty much easy kill for them. So unfortunately, that's what happened. It looks like they are going for a super jump push here, and they do get the clam in, but they died in the process, and so that Zap, the only one alive, and does get taken out by this K shot here. So that's going to be a delayed wipe on their side, and they're going to get no follow up on that. We are almost almost about 30 seconds left, and 40 seconds left in the match, and Revenant is the one with the power clam here. Goes delayed 3 down, so it looks like they're trying to build. Welcome to Good Burger is trying to build a power clam for another, just a last minute push here.
That's definitely what Welcome to Good Burger needs right now, is a last minute push to try and help them secure some sort of lead here, which it's going to definitely be tough, as you know, that you got to compete with between a remaining 51 and a remaining 27. However, Revenant has all of this paint all over the map. As I say that,
Commentators first.
you gotta love it. As I say that, Welcome to Good Burger is actually able to break open that barrier and take the lead by 6 points.
Yeah, a very, not even overtime, a very nice comeback by Welcome to Good Burger, able to keep their cool and put together this last minute push to take the lead with pretty much 2 or 1 second remaining left in that game. You know, I see that those last minute pushes, or even overtime pushes, they tend to be very panicked, very desperate. You don't have a lot of time to get your resources together, and so sometimes they end up being scrappy and uncoordinated. But no, they were able to do exactly what needed to be done to take that lead there.
Yeah, and Welcome to Good Burger here showed what you need to do in that situation really well. And keeping their cool, making sure that they didn't feed excessively, and making it so that they can make that last minute push. And part of me actually wonders if maybe they waited so long just so that they could make that last minute push right before overtime started.
A little, false sense of security. You almost won, but then you actually didn't win. We're gonna take it away from you. So we are going to be seeing a game 4 here, which is Rainmaker on Black Belly Skate Park. And I wonder if we will see a slosher again, because, similar to Humpback, you have all of these curves, and sloshers really thrive off of that, being able to slosh just over these curves, getting the range advantage if they have a height advantage as well. It's basically a slosher's playground.
Yeah, actually, I tend to see a lot of sloshers on this map in general, whether it be like a machine or just a normal slosher, or even blob, actually. I do see a lot of blob on this map as well. But surprisingly, there's no sloshers from either of these teams, actually.
Well, I suppose we didn't see any on Humpback, so we do see the C-Jet though, and I'm not very surprised about that, as Black Belly Rainmaker games can be very high scoring, and again, a Ray just immediately out of the C-Jet, so having those Rays to shut down Rainmaker pushes can be crucial at times.
Having Stingray on Rainmaker is very, very, very nice. It can definitely help to shut down pushes of the opposing team, and it can also help you to get the pop, or even just help the Rainmaker on your team make a push, because it can protect them. Maybe not the most protective thing, but it can help. Here we see that Welcome to Good Burger goes 2 down, and Revenant is able to make a push upon that, with one person coming up behind the Rainmaker, and the Rainmaker dropping to try and avoid that, going around the far side, and we get a wipe from Welcome to Good Burger, and Revenant is very close to KOing with a remaining of 2, being stopped, and having the lone K shot, and then just them all being wiped.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I said high scoring, I guess I mean, I certainly got what I asked for. I mean, we're not even 1 minute 30 seconds into the game, and God, we've already had a score of 98 points on the side of Revenant, and it looks like Welcome to Good Burger is setting up for a push of their own here, already taking it down into the low 30s and looking to go further, but Revenant still has members up, and so this Rainmaker can't really go in for fear of being shot down by, I believe that's the Nautilus up there, just firing barrage on them, and they're getting subs. They're getting pelted with bombs, with missiles, with an inkjet, with a stingray. Everything is getting thrown at them, and so they get taken out at 33 remaining. Welcome to Good Burger now 2 down, and they are trying to take control of the Rainmaker, but with that high damage output of the Knot, it looks like that ends here. And I guess when we're already 33-2, what can you do?
Yeah, that Knot... Honage here on this Knot did exactly what they were supposed to do here. They kept their distance, worked to their advantage with the fact that they have that range, and when they got their special, they popped the inkjet, taking out the Rainmaker in the best position that they possibly could. And it worked out for them, especially allowing them to reset the Rainmaker. However, it looks like here, Welcome to Good Burger is going to go 2 down, Rainmaker going down, and instantly we see that Revenant pops Stingray, which I think that's actually what took out the Rainmaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it did take out the Rainmaker, and that is pretty much exactly what I was talking about, getting that Rainmaker trapped into a corner, and then just Stingray to finish them off without necessarily putting yourself in danger. Unfortunately, that Sea-Jet does go down to the Knot here, so it looks like Welcome to Good Burger. They do have relative control of mid here, and they're looking to set up a push. They have that Inkjet online from the Knot, and that is going to get popped along with missiles, so they are coordinating these specials here and setting up for another push, but all 4 members of Revenant are still alive, so they need to be getting some picks here too.
And as you say that, Revenant actually pops armor, which maybe not the and we see Stingray instantly, which ends up cornering that Rainmaker, making them have to do a little bit of a circle, and they end up getting taken out to Honage here on the Inkjet, who gets a good triple, and then going down to the Zap on the side of Welcome to Good Burger.
Yeah, that Rainmaker did some great dodging, actually managing to outlive the entire Stingray, but it was not enough. However, this Zap here, staying alive for actually all 3 of their teammates to be able to jump to them. Fortunately, one does get taken out, but it looks like the other 2 lived. So that is... it would be very good on them staying alive. Unfortunately, eventually gets taken out by the suction bomb. We are heading into the last 45 seconds of this match. Still this original 33-2. We saw 2 giant pushes out of these 2 teams at the very beginning of the match. So I got that high scoring that I was talking about. But then we've just been kind of deathmatch in mid with these teams both struggling for control, struggling to get these picks that they need to either KO on the side of Revenant or take, well, both of these teams actually, Welcome to Good Burger practically needs to KO if they want to win this match, and with 10 seconds left, they have to get their stuff together. I wonder if we'll be able to see a repeat of a very nice comeback that we saw in the last game here. We are going to be hopefully forcing an overtime, but this Ray comes out of the Sea-Jet. I wanted to see a nice comeback, but no, the Ray just immediately shuts it down. I mean, if I were in the Sea-Jet's place, I would do exactly that as well. So I can't really blame them.
It was definitely a good effort on their part, actually. Having that Stingray with Sea-Jet, and then, you're coming up on, like, the last few seconds of the game. What else would you prefer to do? Allow them to get some last-minute push where they somehow, some way KO on you?
I mean, yeah, if something guarantees you the win, you're gonna want to do that. And actually, with that win for Revenant, we are going to be seeing a game 5. The set is currently 2-2, so whoever wins this game will win the set. And what better map mode to do it on than Piranha Zones? Oh no, I do not. I personally, I do not like Piranha Pit at all, but hey, maybe there's somebody out there willing to tell me how my opinion is wrong. But Piranha Zones.
I don't hate this map mode combo, but it's kind of a bit tedious because if you don't have, if your teammates and you are not able to keep track of the conveyor belts, and also, making sure that that mid side is that mid area between the two zones, because this map does have split zones, which I think is probably one of the more annoying parts about it. Because
Yeah.
you could have, like, basically most of both of the sides painted, and then, like, one side's, like, registering as yours, and then the other side's still neutral, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, the fact that you have to deal with finicky zones capping but 2 times. And the zones are actually decently sized too. I mean, comparing that to like Black Belly where the zones are small, and I think I saw somebody say once if you sneezed into a zone on Black Belly, it would change color. But with Piranha, you have to. I feel like I've always felt like I have to work a little bit more for the zone cap on Piranha, you know. But
I definitely understand that entirely.
yeah, but it is quite the interesting map mode to end this match on. It is zones though, so we wonder if we will see we could see a repeat of that first game where Revenant just locks out Welcome to Good Burger, or we could see it in reverse, or who knows, maybe we'll see a long drawn out struggle. So splat zones can be pretty much anything.
I mean, especially on Piranha Pit, actually. I think it's pretty easy to lock out on pretty much any map if you just know how to, but I feel like Piranha Pit, you can definitely lock people out if you just keep up with your map control. Like, if you go over to the opponent's side conveyor belt and you just keep all of that area painted and just watch them as they come out from the right side, and then also going over to the other conveyor belt on the left side of the map, where they can also try and come out of, just watching those two sides in particular can stop pretty much most of their pushes from coming out of spawn as a whole. And then there's also that little area where they can just try and, like, come through the middle and between those two, and just gets shot down instantly too.
Yeah, generally if you have that control of the right conveyor belt area, you will have control of that mid conveyor belt as well. And most weapons can also, like that left side that you were talking about, most weapons can at least shoot up onto that a little bit, so that discourages maybe the opposing anchor from taking a perch there. You force them to back up a little bit, you throw bombs, you force them to back up a little more. I mean, as one that sometimes specifically goes out of their way to harass anchors, and as an anchor myself, I do know where they like to stand. So you really have to, you're forced to really either be perched up on that grating and that box above, overlooking the conveyor belt area, or you have to drop, you have to go straight through mid. So you definitely make a very good point about Piranha being easy to lock out on. So I wonder if we will see that again. I sure hope not. Unfortunately, I sure hope that we will see a good end. I mean, we've seen some pretty close games in this set with the 5-point tower control game, and then also that very high scoring Rainmaker game. So I think it should be quite interesting to see what Splat Zones brings in terms of weapons. I would not be surprised to see that Dynamo again. I mean, I've seen Dynamo in pit zones before. You throw out a swing and it basically neutralizes the zone for you.
I'm kind of expecting maybe a slosher, and my other thing was gonna be
there's a slosher and the Nautilus. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. I've also like to point out, we have been seeing these Dapple Nouveaux pretty much, I think, all for the entirety of this set, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like that. I mean, it's not something that you see very commonly, and I am slightly biased in favor of them, because I have a co-captain that plays them and they're cool. But yeah, I think you probably know the same thing I did. Pretty everybody except I think one person went down just immediately there in those first 30 seconds.
Revenant ended up getting entirely wiped by Welcome to Good Burger here in the first 30 seconds of the game. Welcome to Good Burger actually being able to take that zone, and they've been keeping it pretty steadily, being able to so far make a entire push here of having a remaining of 60 and counting.
Yeah, here's that K-Pro. taking advantage, taking control of the area you were talking about, getting a pick and 2 other assists, and that's actually another full wipe on the side of Revenant there. They are going to be able to come back in very quickly, but look at all these specials coming out of Welcome to Good Burger. We have the Ink Storm, we have the Booyah Bomb, and so already Welcome to Good Burger down to 28 and counting, and Revenant, they do have that armor, but they don't really have anything else, and so this Slosher, using their range, using their sprinklers, just sloshing over that gap right there, and we're already down to 12, but that Booyah Bomb manages to neutralize the zone. But Revenant is already 2 down, 3 down. Welcome to Good Burger is 2 down, but they have control of this zone, and the 52 gal just getting absolutely jumped on by all these members of Revenant. They quickly charge up that Booyah Bomb, but it's not going to be enough, and I am sorry if I took too much of that comment. I tend to go just kind of very fast if a lot of stuff is happening, but that is a speedy end to this set, and well, we pretty much saw the exact opposite of what happened on that Humpback game. Welcome to Good Burger just locked out and did not take no for an answer there.
Revenant had it looked like Revenant was trying their hardest there towards the end to have some sort of good push there. However, unfortunately, the 52's Booyah Bomb didn't come out quick enough, and it wasn't able to, at least at the very minimum, neutralize that zone for them, and it ended up not working out in their favor because they ran out of time due to that. And Welcome to Good Burger were just being really dominant, getting those picks, keeping up with their paint. Just they took that game and they played very well. Both of the teams played very, very well. It just Welcome to Good Burger ended up coming out on top at the end of the day here.
Yeah, we really did. That I guess they were able to bounce back from that Black Belly game very nicely. Props to them. And you were right. That was very dominant. The push from Revenant, I did see that Booyah Bomb able to come and neutralize the zone and buy them a little bit more time, and that was rather smart then, because Booyah Bomb does have a decent amount of range. Even if you are locked out, if you're able to charge up that Booyah Bomb, you can throw it onto a zone to neutralize and try to buy yourself some time, which is exactly what they did. Unfortunately, it just did not get them enough time.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for them. I'm gonna take a quick look at how we are doing at the current moment, because obviously we will be seeing Welcome to Good Burger in our grand finals, and it looks like it is going to be Good Morning versus Welcome to Good Burger, with Revenant going against Carnage Gaming in our 3rd place match. We are going to take a very short break while we get the room set up, and we will be back for grand finals. Welcome back to SOS 21, and we are here with Grand Finals with me, Sky, and Cater.
Hello, that is me.
Here we have the match that we just watched with a team that we just watched with Welcome to Good Burger against Revenant, which ended up in a Game 5, and they're going to be going against Good Morning, who just went against Carnage Gaming in a good set of 3-2.
Good sets all around, so hopefully this one is as well.
Based on what we saw in the last set, I don't expect anything less from Good Burger here. If anything, I expect them to put up a pretty big fight, because that's exactly what they did during our last set, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they pulled off some very nice comebacks in the, comeback, I guess, goldfish memory, but in the last set that we just watched. So I am excited to see whether they will be showing that dominance that they had in the last pit game, or maybe we'll be seeing some very nice comebacks from these teams here. I guess it's all down to what we see. And again, I'm trying to comment on like teams roster and stuff, but I don't know anybody here, so I can't really do anything.
I can't really blame you, because I don't really recognize very many of these people myself. But before we get into talking about the maps, there are a few things that I would quickly like to talk about first. So IPL has staff applications open up for Swimmer Sync and Testing Grounds. In addition to this, we're always looking for more additions to our production and commentary teams, so if you have a capture card and have any idea on how to possibly stream, we are more than willing to teach you, as long as you are willing to learn in some form. In general, we just are looking for more people to help, and if you're interested in more than one area, please make sure to fill out the form more than once, so that we can see all of your responses to all of the things that you are interested in.
Yes, that is actually how I got into commentating at Splatoon. So yeah, take a shot. Got nothing to lose. We also do have Testing Grounds 12, which is going to be happening this Friday. It's going to be happening this Friday at 8 p.m. EST, which is 5 p.m. PST. It is IPL's bi-weekly tournament, and it runs from Swiss into Top Cut. And it also has a whopping amazing prize pool of $5 this week. So be sure to sign up and join the Discord for more information. And if you are not in the server, that is iplabs.inc, iplabs.inc/discord, which will redirect you to the invite. And we're going to be starting Grand Finals very soon now. First map here is going to be Clan Blitz on Inkblot. Is there anything in specific that you'd like to talk about with this map mode combo here that you think might be vital to either team on either side, etc.? As we're going into the match here, I mean, I did already talk about how important plat is, and, you know, that's where the basket is located. You also have that little block that you can hop up on the right side of plat, so that's a very short but slightly riskier way to get to that basket, and you can pull off a very quick push there. So we are going in right here. We do see the Slosher Deco coming out yet again, so we're going to be baller pushes, and again, those blue dapples. I really like the pick of the blue dapples here. It's not something you see very often, so I'm happy to see that here in Grand Finals.
Yeah, something I really like when it comes to making pushes here on this map mode and combo, as you mentioned prior, there is that little block that's on the right side that leads straight into the opponent's basket, actually. I can't tell if anybody here has any bubbles. I'm pretty sure that Squeezer has bubbles, but Bubbles are like really like Bubbles and Baller, like just the combo of the two when pushing in through the block are the most amazing thing to be having when trying to make a push through the block, because not only can you pop those bubbles and kill the opponents who are trying to, you know, go after the Baller and make sure that the Baller isn't able to get in close. And as I say that, they actually use bubbles up on that wall, and they get more bubbles and push into that plat and are able to get the power clam in, pushing it to 60, getting more clams in, and having it jump safe for, well, presumably safe for their teammate. However, both of them end up going down and stops the push at 54 for Good Morning.
Yeah, I believe that's actually a double bubble comp out of Good Morning with the Foil Squeezer and the Kenza Jr. So that's going to really help them in their pushes if they get not one but two sets of bubbles off. And I think Squeezer, if I'm not mistaken, might have been able to get picks off of popping those bubbles as well. Not sure if they did. If they did, props to them for that.
Here we saw that Good Morning had really a lot of map control here in the mid and a little bit in the opponent's plat for a short while, up until Welcome to Good Burger here was able to take back that and make themselves get the lead by 4 points, actually.
Yeah, very nice use of the bomb rush by that Neo Splash. They used it to take control of the plat, putting that pressure on without actually putting themselves in harm's way, because bomb rush, can be such a long range special. If you hold down the R trigger a little bit longer, it will extend the range of the bombs slightly so you can throw them farther.
And here we see that the Slosher is working with their corners a little bit on that stack, and unfortunately they do end up going down to the They do end up going down here to the Zap, and Zap's just pushing up here, actually. Just shooting that, just painting around in the plat, making that one person back off. However, unfortunately, even though they get the basket open, they're the only person left there in the plat, and they're going to have to jump out here. And unfortunately, they got rid of their penalty, but they were not able to make a... well, they got rid of most of their penalty at the very least, but unfortunately we're not able to get any more claims and to possibly get the lead.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate, so they do have that penalty being slapped back on with another 11. Welcome to Good Burger is just going to retaliate with a push of their own.
Ooh.
3 down on the side of Good Morning. They are coming back now, but Good Burger is already down to 11 with those power clams. I'm not sure if they got in multiple. I feel like they did, but I couldn't completely tell. They are 2 down, so it looks 3 down now. So it looks like the push ends there, but a very, very fast and dominant push out of them, because 11 is quite a convincing lead. It's hard to, if you don't get all the clams in at once. But actually, as I say that, immediately a power clam going in from Good Morning, and they've got it all the way down to 16. They only need a few more clams to take the lead, and
Good Morning here takes
the
the lead. They're able to get it to a lead of 4-1, and they get it to 1 to 11. That's just a 10-point difference, but it's very major here, because Good Burger here is going to need to make a push back into the opponent's side here, and we see here that Splash is trying to do just that and making use advantage of that wall. However, going down to the K Junior's torpedo, and it looks like they're going to get one of the power clams in, and they're going to take the lead.
That power clam super jump, they were not killed fast enough. They were just able to make that power clam, and they did die, but unfortunately they did not die fast enough, and so they are able to throw that in and take the lead just from a 1 point. You know, Good Morning almost had that. It was just within their grasp, and unfortunately Good Burger just showing up with that another amazing comeback like we saw in that previous set. Such an amazing first match. And if Clam Blitz, probably one of the lower scoring modes, is like this, I can't even imagine what maybe this next Rainmaker game is going to look like.
Yeah, Good Burger really isn't playing around. After having gone through that last set, taking back the entire set from Revenant there. They're here in Grand Finals, and they're going to be serving Good Morning here.
Yeah, they are looking for this win, and because this is single elimination, we do not have like any possibilities of a bracket reset or anything like that. So this set is it, and with this set, again, best of 7, so first to 4. So we are going to be seeing Rainmaker on Snapper Canal next, and this has always been interesting for me because you have basically 2 routes. You can, well, I guess 3 if you count sneaky. You can go straight up mid, you can take that route all the way on the left, or you can go through the sneaky route on right. So should be interesting to see what the teams decide to take here.
Definitely. As we see that Good Morning is going to bring out Tent, which Tent's actually a pretty good choice on this map as well. Keeping their Zap, Squeezer, and also a C-Jet. So we should expect more Stingrays, definitely.
Yeah, we got the funny little, race stop there. A very nice, is this flank? I honestly cannot tell what side they're on from the 10. Able to get a pick off of that, and they do have Hammer at the ready should they need it. Very nicely executed by them, and this just first very early part of the match, allowing their teammate to pick up the Rainmaker, so it looks like they are going to be making an early push here.
And Rainmaker looks like they're going to try and take it up through that left side. However, they're going to get backed off by the Zap, being the only person up alive to defend themselves, and instantly going to go down. And we have the C-Jet here trying their best to keep a distance from the Rainmaker. And it looks like they're also trying their hardest right now to not pop that Stingray, to hopefully try and not even need to use it. And the Good Morning picks up the Rainmaker. It looks like they're going to make a push for the left side. However, instead of going for the far left, they choose to make a little bit of a turn over onto the right side of left. And the C-Jet pops that Stingray finally, making good use of it. And the Baller coming in and taking out one of their teammates there. And C-Jet just doing a really good job here at keeping their distance from their opponents, and in general doing just a really good job trying to keep that distance. Ooh, and we see here that the dualies from Welcome to Good Burger end up taking out the tent, and Good Burger goes 3 down, and basically I'm pretty sure that was a delayed wipe actually.
Yeah, Good Burger they do have the lead now, but I guess it's more of a we've gotten that, but at what cost, And so it's, again, another fight over mid. This Tent using their shield very nicely to get themselves out of that corner that they were backed into. They tanked the damage and they were able to hop out of it. And you see these mines that they've placed at very nice spots in order to deal chip damage, or at the very least track their opponents. And then they pull out the Stamp to get the picks that they need. This Tent just playing very nicely this game. Oh, and then a nice shield kill there. Just to add insult to injury, like you're not getting away.
Yeah, just using their shield just to corner them there. Poor Nautilus is thinking, well, guess I'll die, and Nautilus surely ends up dying.
Unfortunately for them. But, and again, we see the Tent still alive, still using their shield to tank damage, and exactly what they need to do. And they also have another stab that they're going to be using. We see that the C-Jet does have that Ray, but they are holding onto it right now. It is kind of just a stalemate in mid right now, as both teams, all 4 members up there looking for the picks that they need. Rainmaker shield gets popped, but it's not being chucked. Actually, as I say that, Good Morning does pick up the Rainmaker.
Oh no! And Good Burger goes 3 down with their Nautilus falling in the water.
Not a great time to take a swim, unfortunately. And it looks like Good Morning is going to attempt to use. They're looking for this opportunity to make a push here. Rainmaker does get reset. Squeezer using those bubbles to try and get something done. They unfortunately get taken out by the Zap, though. So it looks like that little slip from the Nautilus may not cost them too much if they can just hold out this defense for a little bit longer. We're going into the last minute of this match right now, and actually, Good Morning is picking up the Rainmaker. It's a rather close and low-scoring match, though, so if they use, and they use the tent shield to get past, and actually, it looks like hurtling towards a KO right there. Unfortunately, stops just short of it, but with only 38 seconds left back, Welcome to Good Burger very much has their work cut out for them. That tent pick eventually did very much come in handy for Good Morning, so good on them.
And we see more good tent gameplay here. However, unfortunately, on the side of Good Morning, their tent does end up going down. And in the last 20 seconds and counting here, Good Burger is going to try and make a push here, and it looks like they're going to be pushing up left side, and they're going to get stopped by the Stingray. However, they're going to get they get stopped by the Zap instead, and Zap goes and takes 2 down, almost 3 before time just runs out. And if you don't have that Rainmaker pop, then nobody on the opposing team that needs the Rainmaker has it, then that game's just gonna end.
Wow, the Rainmaker, I feared for them. You know, they came up that ledge. I saw the suction bomb. I thought they were gonna die to it. They didn't die to it. They did some admirable dodging there, taking it all the way down to 6. But, I mean, I guess that was even more high scoring than the Black Belly Rainmaker game that I was talking about. I did not really expect to see that. Great pushes out of both teams there, but unfortunately, 6 is just not enough to win when your opponent has already ticked back down to 1. Welcome to Good Burger trying to pull off another one of those amazing comebacks, but unfortunately, this time it just did not cut it, and the game goes to Good Morning instead.
Well, I mean, Good Burger, you know, they did really well there too, and you know, it's not like it's the end of the entire set for them yet. They still have tower control on the reef here, which, personally, I think that bridge is going to be extremely vital. I feel like we're probably gonna see some sort of Stingray weapon, maybe a Nautilus. I do expect some sort of slosher though, maybe.
That's true. That you are definitely right though. The bridge, it's kind of affording a second layer to this map. When I'm playing on this map, I always forget that tower's underneath the bridge, so I rush to the bridge first thing. But it does provide a very nice vantage point, especially if you let other anchors set up on there, because then they can just fire down onto the tower. They get very nice control of those areas below towers, so you want to have both that bridge and the area tower, more of a almost diverting your resources between those two. It's quite interesting to see the way that all of the little open areas, but also the corners on this map play out. It's a kind of like Mako. I find this to be a very well-rounded map,
which in general is a bit of the reason I do expect maybe to see some sort of slosher.
A Condor gets pulled out instead.
Man.
Yeah, there is the slosher. We see the slosher deco coming out again, as well as the K-Pro, but we see Welcome to Good Burger keep their blue dapples and their Zap. I love the persistence of the blue dapples player out here. You are amazing, keep doing you. But we see the remix, we see the Condor out of Good Morning. They do keep the foil squeezer, but the remix and the Booyah and the armor are both very nice specials to have on tower control here. So interesting picks out of here, but not necessarily. I mean, I am all for it.
Here we see that the squeezer here is able to take out the slosher from Good Burger, and they're just dominating here, taking 2 people down, just helping to support that tower, making sure that the tower can push up, making sure that there's proper paint around. And here we see that the Dapples player here is gonna take out the Condor that was on that tower. However, they're also going to go down, and it's going to be a fight with those bubbles, it looks like, too. However, K-Pro is going to take them out and instantly be going down to that Zap, and going to be cornered, and to add insult to energy, is just going to get crushed by that baller.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going down to everything. The Slosher going down in a 2v1, but able to take someone with them, not quite sure who. So again, using the corners, using their fall, if they sloshed above their enemy when they didn't have direct line of sight, were able to take that down. See the Booyah coming out of the K-Bro, I do believe, here. And so Welcome to Good Burger is hurtling towards that lead and that second checkpoint there as they're sitting. They have very nice control of the area around it, and you see those members all pushed up. Booyah coming out of the remix, attempting to zone out. And now it looks like the Kunder is now actually sitting on the tower. They are getting very much backed up by this baller, but they were able to take that control of that tower for their team.
Keen actually uses their torpedoes very well to their advantage here, using it to make sure to get rid of that sprinkler that got planted right in front of them while they were very, very low on ink. And I'm pretty sure that they didn't even have their canopy, actually. And here again, we see them using that to their advantage, throwing their torpedoes, even if it's not aimed at anybody in particular. It's giving them paint to make sure that they are going to be safe there. And here we see Good Morning is going to take the lead here, and the Kunder there is just sitting on that tower and doing their job the best that they can, throwing torpedoes, painting around, and popping armor for their teammates to get those picks.
Yeah, the bubbles also coming out of the squeezer here. That is a full wipe on the side of Welcome to Good Burger, so that's going to be a KO for Good Morning. Very nicely executed with all those specials and the bubbles at the end from the squeezer that I was going to say were tanking damage. And also, I believe they were able to get some picks or assists by just popping those on people that were dropping from Welcome to Good Burger.
Yeah. Look at that Kunder with a 10 KDA and the squeezer with a 16 KDA. Those bubbles and those torpedoes, especially that armor, definitely came in handy.
Oh yes, very much. You know, torpedoes, like you said, I am all for torpedo spam. It can get annoying at times, but it's very useful. Even those rolled torpedoes on the ground, you can't shoot them down when they're rolled. So if they are aimed at an opponent, they do give you good chip damage that you can combo with. So I really liked that you pointed out that they were using it to their advantage.
We're gonna be going back to zones Piranha.
Oh god. Well, at least I'm not the one playing. I get to kind of distance myself from the action I'm talking about. I'm not playing it, so you know I'm fine with that. I'm fine with talking about it. But we are back. We are back on Splat Zones on Piranha Pit. So perhaps history will repeat itself, and we will see a dominant lockout by Welcome to Good Burger. I mean, they certainly seem to know what they were doing last time we saw this map mode.
Yeah, so this and also the next map, Good Burger performed very well on in the previous set, actually. So if it does end up going to Game 5, which it's going to if Good Burger, which is going to go to Game 5 regardless here, because neither teams have 3, so... And here we see that on the side of Good Burger here, that they have a junior still holding up with those blue devils, Zap, and a Slosher. Slosher is going to be very important here, especially with those corners. And we see here that Good Morning has a Squeezer, Remix, Tent, and Zap, which Tent can actually be pretty good on this map as well, which I am curious to see how well that they're going to be using. And here we see that they use that Tent to, you know, paint over their zone, keeping that control. However, the Zap here is going to take control of the right side of the zone and chase that Remix back and get pushed back by the opposing teammate. And Good Morning is now pretty much wiped with only their Remix being up, and everybody else is currently coming out of spawn, with Good Burger holding that zone and continuously allowing that timer to tick down.
Yeah, I believe that is a double armor comp out of Good Burger, is it not? I mean, with the junior, that we see the junior over here just farming armor, doing exactly what they need to do. They have that armor at the ready. It looks like Good Morning is actually 2 down. That good. They both start with good, so I like keep losing track of which two I'm talking about as I'm saying them. But good, welcome to Good Burger. Actually takes advantage of the fact that a bomb explodes instantly if you hit it on a tent shield, able to take the tent out with that suction bomb. And welcome to Good Burger is now they've gone through their penalty. They're just taking an pretty early lead here with 46 remaining. That tent looking to get onto the zone, but they just get swarmed by members of Good Burger.
Yeah, the tent had a really good idea in mind there. However, unfortunately, they ended up just not being able to convey it very well. Unfortunately, Dapples are actually able here to take that tent out very easily as they lose their canopy and allow it to go forward. And Dapples here are going to try and take out the Remix, but Remix is going to shut that down there. And Slosher going also down to Remix.
Yeah, this Remix here taking full advantage of that range that they have, just backing up from the other teams, because the Remix actually, good morning with that, forgot the weapon name, Squeezer and Remix there, does have a nice range advantage over the rather short range comp with the Slosher, I believe, being the longest range on Welcome to Good Burger. So that is a little bit of an interesting discrepancy there. However, Welcome to Good Burger has been able to use their aggressive capabilities to their advantage. Like you said here, this tent dropping again. They do have the Ultra Stamp. They are actually able to take out the tent this time. And with Welcome to Good Burger 3 down, their push to a KO is cut short and a hefty penalty of 65 applied to them.
That penalty, while it is very, very big, it can definitely count down very quickly if they are able to get back in and hold the zone, which, Good Burger has, shown us that they're very good at locking people out on this map and just in general holding that zone. However, we see Keen here is unfortunately forced to back up, and we see on the side of Good Morning that they go 3 down with only their Zap being up. And the Slosher here on the side of Good Burger is taking advantage of those corners, painting up, trying to discourage them from pushing, popping Baller, and not taking out the tent, however, but trading with that Squeezer there, as Remix is going to try and drop, and looks like they're going to try and paint, as well as use that tent to their advantage, popping the canopy, and Remix here just, fending off, using their advantage here of their range, keeping the zone painted as well in the process.
Yeah, it was, I guess one down for Good Burger right now. They are all respawned now. That Remix does have Booyah Bomb, and again, just using their range, denying the members of Good Burger from dropping in, and out comes that Booyah. Welcome to Good Burger does cap the zone, so that applies a bit of a penalty, 27 to Good Morning, and we're going to the last 30 seconds of that game, so they need to be taking the zones, and right now we see both the zones neutral. They do cap with 3 down on the side of Good Burger, so if they play their cards right, they could definitely force an overtime, because as we see, that penalty is going down swiftly, already almost gone.
We see here that they did take a little bit a while to actually paint over that zone, even though they were 3 down. However, with 4 seconds left on the clock here, they're going to paint back over, and it's going to be neutral. So unfortunately, the game is going to end, and it's going to be in favor of Good Burger here.
Yeah, that tent with the hammer, if they were given just a second or 2 more, they likely could have capped that zone and forced overtime, but unfortunately the clock was not in their favor and timed them out as they were holding that hammer. So the game, like you said, will go to in favor of Good Burger here. A very, very nice zones game. Tense ending, but unfortunately overtime was not achieved.
Unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, especially because you could definitely tell that if they had just had a little bit more time there, that they would have been able to get that zone. But all they would have had to do is continuously hold that zone, which Good Burger was really good about getting them consistently down. Just performing and doing the same thing that they did last time on this map. And on that note, talking about teams who've played on maps before, we're gonna have Good Burger on Clan Blitz Mako Mart again. If I remember correctly, they actually got a last-minute push and won right before overtime too.
Yes, you are correct in that regard. They pulled off a very nice comeback just seconds before overtime would have started for them. We are actually 2-2 in this set right now, so we are practically in a best of 3 for these last 3 remaining games, with both teams 2 matches in their favor. This could still be anybody's set.
And with Clan Blitz Mako, it being such a very nicely shaped map here, it can go in anybody's favor. And I feel like I feel like, you know, seeing a CJ with Stingray or at least a Slosher at the very least. I expect to see some sort of Slosher just come out because, you know, the corners, the boxes, using them all to your advantage, using those walls to your advantage, using the fact that you can just aim upwards towards your opponent even though you're not directly in front of them with Slosher. It's such a good weapon to be using on this map.
Definitely, I do hope we are going to see that Slosher Deco again, and maybe something else from the side of Good Morning. We shall just have to wait and see. We have been seeing, you know, small changes to accommodate for map and mode from like all the teams in this, and there it is, the Slosher Deco that you so wanted. We see, I believe that is the same double bubble comp out of Good Morning there, with the K Junior as well as the Foil Squeezer, and then the Bamboo MK1 with missiles and curling bomb, and then the Zap. So this should be an interesting match to watch. I mean, we got rather similar comps to what we've been seeing, and so it seems like it's just going to, hopefully it's one of those close games again.
We see here that the Dabbles are trying their hardest to try and take out what it looked like to be, if I had to take a guess, the Zap or the Squeezer. But the Bamboo was right behind them and ended up being able to take them out. And as I say that, the Bamboo is going to missile 2 people, which I'm gonna be quite honest, those missiles are going to be very annoying for the opposing team, especially with those bubbles coming in and getting 2 power clams in on the side of Good Morning. I didn't mention this, but the Bamboo was able to get that nice shot around the corner on the Slosher, which unfortunately is just one of the things that's going to come at a disadvantage as well here. But Good Morning here is able to get a really big lead within like the first minute of the game here of 12, and they just keep popping those bubbles, getting it to 9 before the basket has to finally close, and before Good Burger is able to try and take a little bit more control of underneath their basket here.
You know, I thought the Rainmaker games were going to be high scoring, not the Clam Blitz games. We're 1 minute and 30 seconds of the game, and we're already in the single digits. But right now, we see multiple specials coming out of Welcome to Good Burger. We see that, I think, was the Bomb Rush popped? I feel like it was. And the Rain...
Oh, no!
Unfortunately, that Clam misses. That is exactly what I've done in the past. And so, unfortunately, they are going to lose that Clam, and what could have been points on the board for them is now just an X on the field. So they do, it seems, have that pity Clam, with the Bamboo again getting that nice favor. The corners just aren't working in favor of the Slosher, it seems, and they are going to the Bamboo. So Good Morning is going to get yet another push. We see those bubbles coming out again, shielding the Power Clam that gets thrown in to take their penalty down from 22 to 2. But again, because they had such a hefty penalty, they still have not made any points on the board yet.
Something interesting here is that the Dabbles are able to actually push up and aggressively enough are able to take down the Bamboo and, you know, stopping Good Morning's push again. God, just you expected to see like the more hype matches and stuff coming from Rainmaker matches, and I can understand why, actually, with how quick Rainmaker can be played out. But with how quick Rainmaker can be played out, you could also say the same in regards to how quick that Clan Blitz matches could possibly end as well, depending on how strong either side of the teams are.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it's a matter of, like, if you have enough clams at once, because if you get in a lot of clams in a very short space of time, as Good Morning did for that first push, you really you just don't give the enemy a chance. If you're trying to do a long, drawn-out push, that gives the enemy ample time to come and stop you. A very nice double out of this, who is that? I literally cannot tell who that was. I wasn't able to register from the junior. Very nice double from the junior, as they do get taken out, but they are able to take 2 with them. Very good on them.
The splash is able to work really well with their teammate trying to take out that zap there. However, it looks like they're gonna go full life on the side of Good Burger here.
Yeah, very impressive on the junior, getting that that power clam in to go all the way down to 19, but that is not enough when you have a score of 9, and so we have the bubbles, both weapons having bubbles on the side of Good Morning right now. And again, we see that power clam going in, penalty down to 3, and another set of bubbles coming in.
And here we see that Good Morning is gonna get that KO there. That's gonna be a clean KO there, actually.
Wow.
Oh.
So impressive out of both sides. I mean, welcome to Good Burger. Basically, I think they had what was practically 2 pushes back to back, you know, able to take it all the way down to 19, which usually would be enough to win a match, but when you're going against the start of the game push that's already down to 9, it's just not enough.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate there for Good Burger, actually. So we're gonna actually be playing Rainmaker Starfish here next, and this is this can end very, very, very quickly, as Rainmaker can. But I feel like personally with this map, as soon as you get up to that ramp that's right near the pedestal, pushing in through that, that's pretty much. I feel like that in some form does definitely secure who's gonna win in some form, but that can always change, especially with two teams like these two that have shown us that they can go back and forth with one another. Because looking at the scoreboard, we had Good Burger, and then Good Morning took 2 games, and then Good Burger came back with another one, and then Good Morning's just showing us that, you know, they're not gonna let go down easily. And this will either be a win for Good Morning or a possible chance to go to Game 7.
And finally, I love the pick of the Blue Dapples here that we've been seeing just throughout this these sets from Good. Literally cannot remember which Good team it is. Good Burger here, because you have that miss that can take advantage of the choke points. I mean, you have that ramp that you mentioned, but also if you choose to go directly in through pit, that's that little street there can be just overtaken by miss. But actually, we have Welcome to Good Burger here, taking an early lead, pushing it all the way up to 13. And like you said, games here on Starfish Main Stage can go very quickly because they are 3 down right now. But this splash, able to just kind of nest it up even closer, getting it all the way down to 4. And when you're pushed up past that ramp, like you mentioned, every single point counts, because if you play correctly, you can rather quickly, if you get the wipe that you need, push up to that ramp. So every single point that you push into that enemy spawn point, it counts, and it can possibly count for the win.
Here we see that the Bamboo is able to take out the Zap, and then they missile 3 other people, and unfortunately it's not really going to help support their teammate here with the Rainmaker, and they're going to go 3 down on either side, K Jr. being up for Good Morning, and I believe it was their splash up for Welcome to Good Burger. But I'm pretty sure most of Good Burger was actually respawning. The K Jr. here is going to pop their bubbles using their torpedoes to their advantage, popping that bubble, taking out one, popping a torpedo and taking out another. It looks like they're going to jump out because they realize that they're in a very poor position and that they can't really do much there. Running low on ink, and, you know, just it wasn't a good opportunity for them. Sure, they got 2, but there were 2 more that were going to come right after them.
Yeah, it was quite an impressive double. I mean, as you mentioned, it was rather in their disadvantage. You know, a 2v1 inherently is. So that they were able to pull that off was very impressive out of them. We have the Splash here going for a flank, able to take down one, but does get taken down in the process. And again, this K Junior here just throwing those torpedoes and hopefully being a nuisance to the enemy team. That's what they're aiming to do. Torpedo spam. You want to be annoying. That's your goal. And maybe you take a couple people out with it. And hey, that's a nice side effect.
Something I'm actually noticing here is that if we take a look here, is that it's specifically Keen here who is playing the K Junior and using those those torpedoes to their advantage. And if we remember in the tower control game prior, they were the Kunder, and they did just that with Kunder too.
Yeah, a nice bubble double out of Keen on the K Junior, chaining their bubble and junior shots to get two very clean picks. Unfortunately, they do get taken down. So it is Good Burger in control of the Rainmaker now. I don't know what I said. One down on either side, but Good Burger is just pushing again deeper into Good Morning's base. And as we are going into the final, I guess heading up on the last minute and 30 seconds, Good Morning needs every second that they can get in order to orchestrate a push. They only have 80 points on the board compared to Good Burger's 4. So, and again, another bubble bob out of the junior. We are going to need to see a very nice comeback out of them, like we've been seeing both teams actually struggling over these close matches. So we shall see what comes out of it.
Something that's really nice here is, you know, Good Morning is trying their hardest. It's just, it looks like a lot of what they're struggling with currently is just keeping up with that map control. And it's what's allowing Good Burger to do so well and get these pushes here is that they just have so much of that map control. Like, especially in mid when they do reset the Rainmaker, it's gonna be constantly in favor of Good Burger unless Good Morning just, you know, pushes up into that mid area.
I mean, look at the comp of Good Burger. You have the Junior and you have the Zap, which already have great inking power. You have the Splash, which also has great inking power, and then you have the Dapples, which maybe their strong suit is damage and not ink, but they still also have great inking power. And then when you pit that up against something like a Squeezer and a Bamboo, even though actually both teams, I have just noticed, do have a Junior and a Zap, it's just with the additional power of that Dapples and that Splash, Good Burger is just keeping and maintaining that map control that they need. We are in the last 20 seconds of the match, and still Good Morning is being kept in their pit, although the Zap does get taken down. Look at how orange that map is.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just Good Burger has this really good ability here to just keep that map control, and unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get that pop there because, like you said, Good Burger had such a big painting comp here, and it just really worked out for them here.
Yeah, they definitely had lower range, especially compared to that Bamboo and that Squeezer, but it worked out for them in the end. Very low range, but very high paint, and it is exactly what they needed. So, we are going into a Game 7 of our grand finals here of SOS 21. Welcome to Good Burger versus Good Morning, and it ends right here, right now on Monta Maria Tower Control.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. I want to see the Sea-Jet again. I would play Sea-Jet. I want to see a Sea-Jet. Give it to me, please. Those Stingrays, especially compared with the just the very choky nature of this map and the choke points on the well, I was gonna say choke points. Checkpoints they are called, but they should really be called choke points on this map where you got one located in that very constrained little street part there, and so the race
yes.
can apply exactly what you need to kill a push.
God, I would really love to see Keen come out here with either a tent or a Kunder. I feel like Kunder would definitely be very nice here because of the torpedoes and armor, but tent could also be pretty good on this map as well.
Yeah,
definitely. I think something else is Sea-Jet. I feel like Nautilus also works pretty well on this map, but I don't think I've seen Nautilus out of either of these teams during this set. So Probably not, but maybe a Slosher, because Slosher can definitely still work on this map mode.
Yeah, definitely Slosher or Machine. I've heard this is a very strong Machine map, as you have a lot of flat ground and bottom mid, but you can also take advantage of your ability to slosh up and over onto those bunker areas, and then you have these slight ramps on mid that can give you a height advantage. But we are loading into our final game of the tournament, Game 7, and so we are going to have to see. There is the Slosher out of them, and oh, a Kunder. You got your wish. You see a little Kunder. You got the torpedo, the armor. So hopefully we are going to be seeing the same nice torpedo gameplay, nice torpedo combos that we've been seeing all set from Keen. I have my hopes high.
So on the side of Good Morning here, we have a double armor comp with Bubbles and Booyah Bomb. Unfortunately, it looks like Keen's going to get cornered by 3 people on the side of Good Burger and is going to go down. And Good Morning is just gonna go 3 down with the remix being the only one alive and trying to defend that right side.
Yeah, that's a way to take out Umbrella, just 3v1 them. But I mean, it worked well. That's coordination for you. And Manta Tower, if you're not defending correctly, can snowball very quickly. As you see, we already have Good Burger past the first checkpoint into the high 30s, and we're not even a minute into the game. We do see though that Booyah Bomb getting thrown into zone out, but with Good Morning yet again 3 down, we are already at that 3rd checkpoint.
Actually, Good Morning, as you said, first checkpoint had just cleared their 2nd checkpoint, and they were about to clear their 3rd checkpoint. However, it looks like Good Morning is going to try and take back what is theirs essentially here. Yes. Taking back their street, taking back their bunker here, just painting all of it. However, it looks like there's going to be a flank from the left side here, and they're going to have to play to their advantage here, going a 2v1, and then just the Dapple's dropping, and kind of gonna say, they dropped. I'm just gonna go back over to the tower.
Where did they even go? I don't even know where the Dapples went. But there they are. I mean, even though that did seem to be a solo, and they are down now. Even though that did seem to be a solo flank, though, I really like how one of their teammates came from a different direction to back them up. Although it unfortunately did not take anybody out, it is still was still a very nice attempt by them. It looks like Good Morning is going to be setting up for a push of their own right now, actually already on the 2nd checkpoint, popping those bubbles to shield the checkpoint.
However, it looks like, unfortunately, Good Morning is going to be 2 down here, and with Good Burger having 3 out of the 4 of their players, it's going to put Good Morning here at a disadvantage. However, the Dapples having another flank attempt here, and they get to take out the remix, but they do go down to that zap there.
The Dapples is certainly doing their job. They're just being a nuisance to the other team, not letting them rest. They are just constantly poking them and not letting. You gotta force the other anchors to keep their guard up, And this is the same, Slosher swapped out. I'm not sure what they swapped it out for, but it forced them a little bit more range and a bit of an edge. They are hurtling right now towards a KO. They don't even have a checkpoint in between them and this tournament win. And the tower is just being passed back and forth. Well, not passed, I suppose. One of the teams wants the tower. And it looks like that tower is going to go to Good Morning, ? But Good Burger is 3 down. They do momentarily take the tower, make their presence known. But yet again, Good Morning able to force them out just before a KO. But I was going to say, we are going into the last minute and 30 seconds of our match. It was welcome to Good Burger's turn for a very dominant opening push all the way down to, 12? And so Good Morning has just kind of been on the defense for a good chunk of this match when they really want to be in the offense going into almost the last minute of this match.
We see here that the remix is actually making good use of their point sensors, even though they know that they cannot get that. Even though they know that they can't get that pick on that person that's all the way over there on their bunker, just walking over to the tower, they are at least going to throw the point sensor so that their teammates can at least, figure out where the heck that person's gonna be. And hopefully it does work into their advantage there. But I think that's a really nice use of their point sensor there, because I don't usually see a lot of people using the point, like the actual sub ability here when it comes to remix.
Definitely. I sometimes even forget I have a sub, unfortunately. But you're right, point sensors can be very useful in pointing out where people are, and especially if somebody is marked, they tend not to push up. We see Good Morning here actually making a push of their own, but they do go 1 down, they go 2 down with the remix down. The other 2 are on tower, they are now armored, but that armor pushes them actually off the tower. That knockback, unfortunately, just not in their favor. And so we see one of them trying to take the tower, but they are getting shot down by the members of Good Burger.
And they unfortunately do get killed before that they can get back on the tower, and just having so many people on top of them, and that'll just be, that's just hour control there for you. You just, because especially when you're the only person up there, it's really, really hard because you're under all that pressure, and it just doesn't really work out for your favor.
Even then, an amazing Game 7 we saw there. Welcome to Good Burger not quite able to knock it out, pushing it all the way down to 4, but getting pushed out both times. However, that was enough to win them the set and the tournament. And Swim or Sink 21 goes to Welcome to Good Burger. It seems the gooder, I suppose, of these two good teams.
Both teams actually did play very, very well, and they definitely showed us what they had at their disposal.
I was making a joke on the name. Please do not. I think they are both great. Please do. Don't sue me, please. I love it. It was just a joke, I swear.
So with Welcome to Good Burger taking first, we're gonna have Good Morning taking second, and Revenant actually taking third, going 3-0 against Carnage Gaming in that third place match there. Honestly, I'm not really surprised. All 3 of these teams played really well, and I feel like all 3 of them could have definitely won this tournament. But at the end of the day, Welcome to Good Burger did come out on top.
Yeah, we saw some very close matches through all of these sets. It comes down sometimes to just who can pull off those crazy overtime, or just very close to overtime, as we saw in that Clams Mako game. Those crazy pushes and comebacks that will win you the game. When it all comes down to it, Splatoon is a game of luck and teamwork, and when that all works in your favor, hey, maybe get yourself a tournament.
Definitely. Just overall, these entire matches have been extremely wonderful to watch as a whole. Where can they find you, Cater?
You can find me on Twitter at Cater_. And how about you?
You can find me at Sky the Demon, pretty much everywhere, especially on Twitter. That's gonna have to wrap it up just about now for Swimmer Sync 21. Thank you all for coming and watching, and we hope you all have a good night. And
yes,
congratulations to our winner here. Welcome to Good Burger.
Yes, I had a great time commentating with you, and I hope you all had a great time watching. Be sure to tune in, like I said earlier, for Testing Grounds. This Friday at, I believe, 8 p.m. EST, either playing or watching. So I hope to see you all there, and I hope you all have a good night.